all of you tuning in are very, very excited to be here today. We've got so much to talk about today and a very, very exciting panel that will be joining the broadcast later. But this is a special day, ladies and gentlemen, in the leadership of this new interim government led by President Iya Marianta. When she came to power about a month ago, she launched this ARF, Ambazonia Restoration Fee. And for the past 1 month, meeting every weekend, fundraising has been made to empower the restoration fighters on ground zero. Today happens to be the grand finale for this fundraiser. And I want to believe that after we are done with this live broadcast, you will join the Zoom meeting to chip in your $50, your $100, your $200. The idea was to get at least 1,000 Ambazonians to chip in $200 each. A single payment of $200. And the idea was, if we can get 1,000, just 1,000 Ambazonians to come in, ladies and gentlemen, with $200, multiply that and see how much it comes up to. That is a lot of money, that would get the fighters on the ground, taking care, matching fire for fire against La Republique du Cameroon, because at this moment, that is all that matters. Matching fire for fire. Forget about diplomacy. Forget about international community. Forget about the United Nations. It is our pressure, the pressure that we put on ground zero against La Republique du Cameroon, that will bring in these guys, if they will come in at all. So, today is a grand finale for this ARF fundraiser. And again, I'd like to ask every one of you to be ready, get ready to join the Zoom meeting that is taking place. And President Iya Marianta will be there to make sure that good money comes in to empower those boys on the ground. Once more, good evening and welcome. I'd like to welcome all of you from Europe, all of you joining from Asia, all of you joining from South America and the continental USA. Thank you for tuning in. And if you are coming in through Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, hit your share button. Go ahead, hit your share button. We must populate this screen to at least 1,000 people today in this broadcast. We can do that. If you are out there on the social media enjoying, excited, please, you hit your share button. Let everybody out there know. The anchor man is live, strong and kicking, ladies and gentlemen. All right, again, so much to talk about today. Let me see what I'm bringing to you today. First, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you on ground zero, there is no ghost town or no lockdown on May 1st. This interim government hasn't called for any lockdown on May 1st. And let me take you to ground zero. I saw images coming out of Bamenda today. And it is interesting that they know who they listen to. They listen to this interim government of Iya Marianta. There is no other interim government out there, ladies and gentlemen. 2 leaders have been impeached and removed from power. But if they think that they can hang out there and continue to call themselves leaders, presidents, and so on and so forth, let it be known. They should know Ambazonia doesn't care about what they do. that doesn't listen to them will take nothing from them. I hope they know that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very important. 2 years ago, the interim government under the leadership of Samuel Okomesako, he is now called Charles Dinga, 2 years ago, his government impeached Sisiko Ayoktabe. Ayoktabe shifted aside, created another thing they call the IG. Now, only about 2 months or 3 months ago, Samuel Okomesako was also impeached and removed just in the same manner in which Sisiko was impeached. And Samuel Sako, who was busy reminding Sisiko that he no longer runs a government, he is no longer the president, has just shifted aside and is trying to do exactly what Sisiko was trying to do. And I think 2 days ago, I heard an audio out there announcing some ghost town. You don't jump up in your bed, even if you were legitimate. You do not jump up on your bed and announce a lockdown on ground zero without giving the people the ample time to prepare to save food in the house. You don't do that. We have never done that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have heard some people saying, oh, Secretary Chris, you shouldn't have put out the audio you put out. I will put it out again and again and again and again. We are not going to sit here to legitimize any illegitimate so-called government out there. Ladies and gentlemen, Ambazonians know that it is the interim government and there is no other leader for the interim government at the moment. It is Iya Marianta. And so if an announcement, a message, an order, an instruction isn't coming from Iya Marianta government, we have the right to disclaim it. And we will continue to disclaim it. This idea that we should just move along, let's just sail along and try to accommodate. We are not going to accommodate all these illegalities. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fighting for a democratic society, a democratic country, and when leaders are legally removed from power, they should respect it and step aside. If they want to be respected, they want to be honored, that is the only way you merit honor, by staying aside and supporting those who are still in there. You don't jump by the wayside, by the roadside, and begin to call people to shut down their businesses. Thank God it did not happen. I have an image here coming from Bamenda today, showing how busy Bamenda was today. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That was Bamenda today. This is around Hospital Runabout. Around Hospital Runabout in the Bamenda today. And it is very, very interesting. I think I actually have a video. Coming from Bamenda. Let me see if I can find that video coming from Bamenda. There is a video that somebody sent in from Bamenda. Yes, this is coming from Bamenda. Look at Bamenda, somebody. This is Bamenda today.
Today, the 30th Saturday, there's no ghost town in Bamenda. Places are live. Yes. There is no ghost town. Today, the 30th Saturday, there's no ghost town in Bamenda. Places are live. Yes. There is no ghost town. Today, the 30th Saturday, there's no ghost town in Bamenda. Places are live. Yes. There is no.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, you are looking at Bamenda. Bamenda today to tell you that there was no ghost town in Bamenda. There will be no ghost town in Bamenda tomorrow, May the 1st, because the interim government hasn't called for one. The interim government did not deliberate announcing one, and so we ask everybody on ground zero, please go about your business as usual. Stay away from any festivities organized by La Republique du Cameroon authorities. Please, I warn you, stay away from any festivities organized by La Republique du Cameroon festivities. You want to go to your business location, absolutely do that. But any festivities, commemoration, so-called marking May 1st, 1st May, Labor Day, organized by La Republique du Cameroon officials, please stay away from there. Stay away from there. Do not be a victim to any stray bullet or any explosions at any of these events. Stay away. Want to go to your business? Be at your business. You don't want to go for business? Go to church, return home, stay home. We are not declaring a lockdown or ghost town for Sunday, but please stay home and avoid any activities planned by La Republique du Cameroon. So that is the announcement. That is the announcement. No lockdown anywhere in Ambazonia on May the 1st. Ghost towns resume on Monday. Ghost towns resume on Monday. All over Ambazonia as usual. Now, a big shutdown of Ambazonia is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. I believe in the coming week, I'm going to bring you that announcement. Now, we want to announce it early enough so that all of Ground Zero can be ready, can prepare towards that lockdown that is coming. It is not going to be a day. It is not going to be 2 days. It is not going to be 3 days. I will bring the announcement. It is a big lockdown. We cannot, Ambazonia, listen to the sound of my voice. 20th May 1972 was the biggest fraud that happened to Ambazonia. Again, 20th May 1972 was the biggest fraud that happened to Ambazonia, perpetrated by La Republique du Cameroon officials. And they want you to go out on 20th May 2022 dancing and celebrating. Celebrating what, sirs? Celebrating what? Celebrating our slavery? Celebrating our 61 years of subjugation, celebrating our 61 years of colonization, ladies and gentlemen, marginalization. What are we celebrating on 20th May? Tell me, what should we be celebrating on 20th May, for God's sake? If there is one holiday put together by La Republique du Cameroon that Ambazonia should never even dream of stepping out for it, it should be 20th May. 20th May was or is the reason we have been fighting for 5 years and counting. 20th May is the reason over 30,000 people of our people have died. 20th May is the reason we have our boys fighting and dying in the bushes to recover what was lost on that day. 20th May, ladies and gentlemen, is a cursed day for this territory, for Cameroon. And that is why we are fighting. We are taking our country back. So in the days ahead, I'll be coming to you to announce what happens on the May 20th, this month, next month. Yes, this month. Today is the 30th. Tomorrow is the 1st. I will be coming to you in the days ahead, this coming week, to tell you what happens this year, May 20th. May 20th. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do not see the numbers jumping on Facebook at all. I do not see the numbers jumping at all. Please, If you have just joined, hit your share button. Hit your share button. We need to see the platform populated. We need to see everybody populating the platform. All right, so that is it about this lockdown and so-called 20th May. Again, nothing is taking place in Ambazonia, ladies and gentlemen, as 20th May. 20th May is a cursed day. It's a cursed day for Ambazonia. It's not a day to celebrate. It's a day to mourn. I remember in those days, the days of the Albert Mokongs, on 20th May, Albert Mokong will declare a national day of mourning. A national day of mourning. I think if we have ever mourned for 20th May, this is the day, this is the time. We'll lock ourselves homes and sit there and reflect what a grave mistake that we made on that occasion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you to some other subjects here, very important. And by the way, Mark Barita will be joining me. Dr. Atienjo will be joining me. Caroline Mala will be joining me. Achiri Atanga also will be joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Carr will be joining me. Aaron, I can see you. Please spin your camera. Please spin your camera to be horizontal, not vertical. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please hit your share button. I need to see the numbers jumping on the Facebook platform. Let's get at least 1,000 people. If you are just joining, please hit your share button. Okay, so again, before I leave this subject, remember there is no lockdown in Bamenda. In Ambazonia today. No lockdown today because the interim government has not announced anyone. Now, again, I just like to do a reminder here. I just want to do a reminder here to remind you. A Zoom meeting is coming up at the top of the hour. A Zoom meeting is coming up at the top of the hour. Ya Marianta, the Restoration Council, members of Cabinet, the Judiciary Council, the county chairs, and LGA chairs, they will all be there. We are doing the grand finale of this ARF fee fundraiser, and we are doing it to empower the restoration forces on the ground. We are doing so to empower our restoration forces. This is just a reminder that please log into that Zoom meeting. You can find the Zoom meeting ID and the password scrolling in the bottom of your screen. You can log into that meeting right after this broadcast. It is very critical we do that. In the past few days, we have seen our people slaughtered like game in Guzang, in Bali, in Du, in the Mbonge, in Nguti. All these places, ladies and gentlemen, do not ask where is firepower. You should be asking, what have you done to provide, to enable firepower? And if you haven't, today is the opportunity for you to log into this Zoom meeting to participate in that Zoom meeting. Let me take you into this other little humorous image here, ladies and gentlemen. I came across these images of La Republique du Cameroon officials. La Republique du Cameroon officials, I learned they are being prepared for deployment into Ambazonia, and apparently Apparently, their guns, their AKs are no longer just enough. They have to go for this. They had to go for this. Look at this place. Look at La Republique du Cameroon soldiers. Look at what they are doing there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at what they are going, preparing to go to Ambazonia. Putting on their mungang, as I call it, I guess, right? These guys are truly, truly frustrated. They are truly frustrated. If this is what they think will take them winning in Ambazonia, they make a very, very big mistake. They make a very, very big mistake. This is not going to give them victory in Ambazonia. Ambazonia will come out victorious. You have heard it not just from me, you have heard it from even from diplomats. You have heard it from diplomats. They are not going to emerge winner by any means. They can go to the bush and flush out all the snakes out there. It won't give them victory in Ambazonia in this war. This war is not, ladies and gentlemen, who wins. It is how long you can go. That is exactly the secret. It is how long you can go. And as far as Ambazonia is concerned, we are not worried about time. Time is waiting for us. Time is not waiting for La Republique du Cameroon because they don't have the money to spend for 20 years fighting war. I have a story that I will be bringing to you shortly, written by Dieudonné Isomba. Dieudonné Isomba is saying that at the moment, La Republique du Cameroon can no longer control their own budget. The International Monetary Fund has confiscated it to make sure their debtors are paid first before La Republique can then implement its own budget, fiscal budget. So, time is in our favor. Ladies and gentlemen, if La Republique du Cameroon thinks they can go for 20 years without declaring a state of bankruptcy, if they think they can go for 30 years, listen, Ambazonia, we have enough time in our hands. There is no rushing to anything. All that we wait for is victory. Victory. And if La Republique du Cameroon thinks they can sustain it for the next 20 years, even 10 years, still paying their staff, still paying their workers, still maintaining the roads, still doing the things that they do, they are mistaken. That is a secret. That is a secret that every Ambazonian should have at the back of their head. If things are not going well at any moment, do not be worried. We have enough time in our hands. We have enough time in our hands, especially when having enough time also tantamount to destroying every economic asset of La Republique du Cameroon in our territory. We're going to deprive them of everything. CDC should go out of the market. PAMO should go out of the market. Water, what is it, Supermong or what? Let them go out of the market. Every company in our territory that pays taxes to Douala, to Yaoundé, and ignore our communities should go down. That is why we have told PAMO Indian is a no-go area. That is the reason why Dion Gute couldn't afford to go there after advertising a conference, an all-Indian conference, ladies and gentlemen, for 2 weeks. He could not go there. He could not go there. After advertising the conference for 2 weeks, calling it an all-Indian conference, and why Indian Knights were descending on the Ikondo Titi, John Gute stayed back in Yaoundé, could not afford to go there. Of course, he knows Iya Marienta controls Indian. She is more popular in Indian than Dion Ngute, because Dion Ngute is just a stooge, a crony of a system, a corrupt system, a fraudulent system that has failed in Yaoundé. Every Ambazonian is looking for something new, and no amount of conferences, cultural meetings, ladies and gentlemen, is going to persuade anyone from giving up. Okay, let me see who is here. Let me get to my guest. I see Dr. Atianjo is here. I see who else is here. I see Aaron Carr is here. Aaron, please bend down your camera. Stretch your hand and bend down your camera slightly. I see the female general. The female general is here also. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me get you briefly to the guests, and then I come back with some of these monologues that I do here. Dr. Atianjo, it's good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Secretary Chris, for bringing me on board once more. I'm always delighted to be here, and I also want to appreciate the other members of the panel that we're going to have an exciting discussion today about the state of affairs in our God-ordained revolution.
Okay, all right. Female general, please stretch your hand, bend down your camera slightly, please. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, skirting your hair a little bit. I see Mike Barretta is also here, ladies and gentlemen. Monsieur Barretta, if you can move slightly to your right, slightly, please. That would be awesome. I hope you can hear me. All right. Female General, it's so great to have you, ma'am. You are looking great out there.
Thank you so much, Uncle Man, the voice that makes La Republique to the only voice that gives La Republique sleeplessness. I want to thank all my brothers, my comrades. I hear that the father of activists is here. Comrade the Mark Barat, to you.
Yes, indeed.
Good to have you back.
Barretta,
I want to appreciate all Ambazonians that tuned in. And I want to tell Ambazonians that right now is not going to be usual. The new leadership is at work. There are a lot of good news going on Ground Zero.
All right, hold on there. Hang in there, female general. We're going to get to that. Let me get to Mike Barretta. Mike, it's great to see you, sir. Good evening from London.
Good evening, Comrade Chris. I do hope you get me loud and clear.
I get you 5 on 5.
Perfect. Good evening to fellow Ambazonians who are watching across the globe, and to all the panelists that will be joining. It will be an exciting day for us to talk to Ambazonians, for us to discuss, and for us to tell the world that Ambazonia is still standing, and nobody, even French Cameroon, cannot take us away from the map of the world. Thank you, fellow Amazonians. Thank you, Comrade Chris, for inviting me once again.
All right, all right. It appears like Car Aaron is frozen and is not apparently hearing us. I hope he logs out, log back in. Please log out, log back in using the same credentials you were given. And let's get going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have the guns failed? La Republique du Cameroon. I'd like to get your take from this. You have seen the image coming from La Republique du Cameroon, precisely in Yaoundé, where apparently they are no longer relying just on guns, but they are relying on some mystic power. Mystic power. Let me start with you. Mike Barretta, tell us, you think that the battle of the gun has failed La Republique du Cameroon soldiers? Look at them there.
When I saw this, I was laughing. I was laughing out my lungs, and I see indeed the the guns have failed them. I think they are now at the last phase. They have done everything possible to contain Amazonia. To me, I think this is a form of confidence building. They are trying to build their confidence by going mystic. They should be aware that we've passed this stage, and now we are now adding more sophisticated weapons to our backyard to deal with them. So I think this is just a game. This is just a game to build up their confidence. But indeed, the guns have failed them. It has.
So, if the guns have failed them, tell me how effective are these, or is this going to be then?
No, there is no way this can be effective, because it will fail. It will fail. Those things don't actually work. It is just to build their confidence. We are going to smoke them in Amazonia like what we're doing, before. So I think what they are doing is just a psychological game. La Republique know that they have lost the war. They know that they have lost Amazonia. So what they are now, they're just doing those things, those end time things to keep them going, still hoping that something might turn around. We know that La Republique won't leave Amazonia without a fight. So they are still fighting. They are still there. They are still hoping. So those things that we are saying, these things that they are doing, and the increased rate of killings, they are all connected. It is showing a frustrated army, an army that is frustrated, an army that has no direction. We just heard that their commander in chief is very, very sick, Mr. Bia, who can do nothing. So they're just doing that to build up their morale, and these are all signals of the end time.
Well, sickness of the end time, I hope it is. I really hope it is. Let me get to Caroline Malara and get her take on this. You think this is frustration or what, Caroline?
Yes, Secretary Chris, I think the sugar have refused to melt for the past 6 years, so they are hoping on the snake to swallow the sugar. But unfortunately for them, you can see on their faces the frustration. You can see it on their faces, the distress. They understand that Amazonia have win. Amazonia have defeated them. So they're just trying their luck because they don't know what to do. They don't want to accept that Amazonians have win the war. So you can see that they tried with water. The sugar did not melt. Now they are hoping on the snake. So we are waiting for them in Amazonia, and we wish them good luck with their snake. We are more prepared and very strong to welcome them. Thank you, Secretary Chris.
Dr. Atienjo, what is your take on this? What does this mean to you when you see a professional army resorting to this kind of fetishism to go out for an untrained army in Amazonia? What do you make of that?
Secretary Chris, thank you for this question, and that actually expresses the sophistication that our boys have become. This revolution has grown for 5 years and has become more complex as things are unfolding. And this desperation is an act that is showing how tired and how frustrated the La Republique army is. And when you see an army resort to superstition instead of implementing the tactics and the skills that they learned in school, it means that they have no other choice. It means that the end times have already come. So you can see here that there's a lot of frustration. But what really puzzles me here is how this activity or this action taken by these senior military officers is going to translate to the boys they send, the ill-trained army that is sent on the ground to fight. These are people who are trained for maybe 6 weeks or 3 months, and then they send them to go and combat or fight. while the senior elites are in the offices ripping the country and looting the government from everything that they have. So I don't know how this is going to translate to the fighters or their own military on the ground, because I saw all of them, the ranks. I don't know a lot of ranks in the military, but seeing those straights and yellow and white, these are all senior military officers. So, and we have not found them fighting on the ground. They sit in offices and make arrangements for the ill-trained young boys to go and fight. So the frustration has gotten to the level that senior military officers want to take all the want to do all this superstition and then transmit it. I don't know how they're going to transmit it to the officers fighting on the ground. Yes, of course, frustration has kicked in, and this is indicative of the a victory for Ambazonia.
Wonderful, wonderful. And let's see what they do with this. We're waiting for results. Now, let me take you guys to a sensitive issue that I brought up earlier in the program. I mentioned about ghost towns. A lockdown that Samuel Ekomesako called and put out there for ground zero. I stated that this interim government has not called for any lockdown or any ghost town on April 30th and May 1st. We know and respect Monday ghost towns. Now, and I made this point. Sisiko was impeached and removed, and he created a little faction somewhere, and we said no, and Sako was first to go out there and say there is only one IG. Now, Sako is impeached and removed, and he just does the same thing like Sisiko, forgetting to remember he is the one who said there is only one IG. Now, he surreptitiously goes out there, put out an audio calling for some lockdown without any preparing the people on the ground, even if it was legitimate. But I have put an audio out there reminding Ambazonians that this interim government hasn't called for any lockdown. And some people have said, you should have just let it pass, just let it pass. If we did not accept it, these illegalities with Sisiko, why should we accept it with Samuel Ekomesako? The female general, let me start with you on that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anchorman. I want to start by reminding Ambazonians that we have an institution and somebody to show that it is relevant. You don't want to show your relevancy by making our people on the ground to suffer. We love our people. That is why we want freedom. That is why we want to restore our land. We did not join this revolution to show how strong we are. We joined this revolution to make sure we restore what was stolen for us by the Republic. So, fellow Ambazonians, someone called himself Don the Pastor. Just wake up in the morning. You want to show to Ambazonians that he is still a president of Bitcoin and decides to just today to make a lockdown. I don't see why a lockdown on Sunday. On Sunday, our people doesn't go to church. On Sunday, our people don't normally open shops. So there's not even a need of ghost town tomorrow. Yes, Secretary Chris, you have the right to come and tell the people, because many people come to my inbox, they were very confused because they say that the interim government didn't call for ghost town. We are hearing that people call for ghost town. And I tell them, go to work because there's no ghost town. Yes, 1st May in Ambazonia is or so whatever, I don't know how they call that in English, but does it really matter? It's a Sunday. People normally go to church on Sunday. And I'm not even sure that La Republique is planning anything in Ambazonia. So you don't just call a lockdown without a strategy. Because even La Republique did not call for any 1st May celebration in Ambazonia. We have an information that they say there will not be 1st May celebration in Ambazonia. So why then do you call ghost town when there's no celebration in Amazonia, and it's a Sunday when our people normally go to church, and they don't normally open shop on Sunday. So I think it's a kind of frustration. It's a kind of trying to show itself relevant. But I have to tell Mr. Donzinga that our people are not toys. Ambazonians are not your toys. You have been impeached. And we, the people of Ambazonia, do not recognize you as a president anymore. Can you please let our people be? When is the right time? The NM government, under the leadership of Iya Marietta Jr., will call for Ghost Town when necessary. We are not calling Ghost Town to show how powerful or how relevant we are. We are calling Ghost Town for strategy. So please, Mr. Donzinga, can you please go back to your church or to your hospital? I don't even know wherever. Please. Thank you, Secretary Chris.
All right. Thank you, female general. Let me go to Mark Barretta and get his take on this. Mark, please, what is your take on this? You can look at that image. That was Bamenda today. You can see there was life everywhere in the city, and apparently Ground Zero knows Samuel Ekobe Sako is not the leader of Ambazonia, of the interim government. But let me get your take there about waking up in the morning and calling a lockdown. Mark Barretta.
Comrade Chris, I think I would just want to excuse myself from the polemics of Sako or Sisiku or so, but let me just state this. Let us look at this. We should be aware, we should look at the relevance now of ghost towns, the relevance of lockdowns, and we should try to have an analysis of when we call lockdowns in the past, how effective was such compared to that now. And the way Ground Zero is structured, I'm talking in terms of counties, and so we are aware that if any Jack and Jesus got up one day and make a video and send maybe campaign for a week or send forces, there are areas within Ambazonia who might align to those lockdown. We know of Meme, Kumbat specifically. We know of Bamenda. We know that Boya from Moliko downward may abide, but from Moliko upward may not. We know that Victoria will not. So we know these dynamics on the ground. My opinion is that whatever lockdown or shutdown, for example, I see no need for a lockdown or shutdown on a May 1 Labor Day. That is not a significant event. And Sako Samuel cannot just get up, for example, and announce such. I also believe that if, for example, lockdown 20th May is coming, which is legitimate, those are the areas where we could call for a lockdown. It should be a concerted effort, especially on the problem has always been on the duration. Is it 1 week? Is it 2 days? Is it 5 days? Is it when? So I think that in 2022, we should be learning on why good lockdowns has been sporadic, has not been consistent across all counties in Amazonia. Once we've learned about that, then we can always have one voice and say if lockdown is on this day against 20th May, every other activist, every movement, everybody is out there singing same language, and then Ground Zero is not confused. As far as I'm concerned, whether it is Sako or Siku or which other leader that is out there, Ground Zero, they know the voice. They know what they are supposed to do. So that is what we should be doing as activists and people who are out here on the media preaching that Ground Zero should act on this on this way. Whether it comes to Ekome Sako, for me, on a personal note, his history, his history, and we know how this revolution is. It's a social media time. You know, if Satan, the devil, could have followers who can die and work for him, then why not Sako? So there is no need. We should accept those reality. Your interim government says he has been impeached, and he says he's standing. There are people who will say, "Oh, they are standing by him." We know this reality. Once we know this, once we identify these realities, we can always forge ahead on areas that we can have a consensus that works.
Let me stop you there a little bit, Mike. You cannot forge a consensus with somebody who is unconstitutionally imposing himself and would not even want as much to be accountable to anybody. That is the problem.
I just mentioned that his history, as far as I'm concerned. So when it comes to consensus, we're looking at relevant actors.
Good. All right. Now, talking about lockdown or ghost town, or whatever we want to call it, it is not the, we at the interim government believe it is not, the politicians do not sit here and take those decisions. The way the decisions are taken is this: the ground zeros generals are put together, consulted, and they all agree on the date. And when they agree, we then come here and we announce it. That is the way it works. So if ground zero generals say, hey, we want it for 5 days, for 3 days, or just for 1 day for some reason, it remains on the logistics, how much they can keep it going. So that is how it goes. It's not the idea of the politicians in the diaspora saying, what can we do with this lockdown? I think the boys on the ground, they have the final say because they are the one carrying the guns. They are the one going to enforce it. But let me go to Dr. Atienjo. Again, why should anybody out there be taking any instruction from an impeached leader?
Well, thank you, Secretary Chris. I want to use this opportunity to talk to Ambazonians about the illegitimacy of Sako. Ambazonians, listen to me and listen to us. We have sung this song here for several months or for weeks now. We want to tell you that if you are listening to Sako, any information coming from Sako, Sako is illegitimate. He is unfound. He is not the president of Ambazonia anymore. He has lost it and his history. I just want to actually re-echo the words of Comrade Mark Barata here. He is already history. First of all, this is somebody who was there for years. We never saw him send money to the ground. But when he was removed, he went and wrote on social media how he was distributing money to different areas so that they can fight. When did that happen? Why did he not do it when he was active? Why did he not do it then?
Comrade, one astonishing thing about, hold on there, one astonishing thing with what Sako did was, did you realize that he was distributing money? But you did not see a dime go to Sako?
Yes.
Did you realize that?
I realized that.
Not a dime went to Sako. Why did Samuel Sako for 4 good years failed to see fighting taking place in Sako? And now he comes out and put out a statement that he is distributing money, and still nothing goes to Sako, right? Go on, please. I say, Mark, I will come back to you. I don't know whether you are trying to say something here.
Yes, I was trying to say.
Let me go to Dr. Atienjo. I will come back to you. Aaron, I can see you. But let Dr. Atienjo make the point.
Yeah, so he distributed money to this without giving money to Sako. But this is hypocrisy. You've been there for 3 years. You are unable to do this. And then when you were removed from position or from power, you are impeached and removed. Then you distributed money. You resorted to distributing money, thinking that this is going to make you relevant. So this idea of ghost town was the most stupid mistake that was made by that group of people who call themselves leaders. Because Sako is not a president, and the followers, and we have all reiterated here, those who are misleading him and giving him that courage to be making all these public statements should be blacklisted. For calling a shutdown, you have to, there are ways that you have to do it, and that is why I would say that that group is not, they are not smart people. We have a president, Maya Marietta. She has consulted with the general on the ground. You cannot sit in your air-conditioned rooms or house or apartment and take decisions on people who are suffering on the ground. So what am I saying? Here, the generals, the fighters on the ground, they are the ones who should tell us how many days they need for a shutdown, whether a shutdown is relevant at that time. But this was a very serious mistake. And I know that it was done in order to actually gather some interest or sympathy from some people who are just loose, their gullible Amazonians who are just sitting out there and listening to everything they can do. But relevance is not on the side of Sako at this moment. He is already history, and his lockdown is irrelevant, and he is not a legitimate leader. He has been removed, and he's no more the president of Amazonia. So he needs to go away.
Mike, go on, please. I hope he is listening. Mike, go on until you wanted to make a point.
Yes, Comrade Chris, I was wondering, I don't know, you people of the interim government, have you ever had an analysis of what actually went wrong in FACO? Because I would say I basically left self-defense many years ago. I wasn't paying too much focus on that. I know that we used to handle FACO, which means our boys could move from point A to point B within FACO. They could shut down Mutengene, Victoria, Tico, and Boya, right up to Bongo Square. But something is wrong. Something is really, I don't know if an in-depth analysis has been done. We need to listen. FACO, we can move from the act of blaming Sako too much on FACO, but we need to start taking responsibility because FACO is our capital. Look,
I would disagree with you there, Mark. Listen, this is why, and you know that I have been within it. There was there was Chan. I'm sure you know about that. We voted money put out to the so-called fighters in Sako. What happened? We saw nothing. We said perhaps. We said perhaps it's because we did not plan good enough and we missed on it.
Yes.
AFCON came. Amazonians raised money county by county. Over $80,000. That one too came and passed. Not a single bullet was shot.
Yes, Chris. I agree in total with all of those things that you have said, from the contributions, from him dissolving FACO executive or what, and all of those things. We agree. But now there is a new management now in your IG. So I think it is time for us to move away from that. If he is history, if we can't keep on blaming him, let's move ahead. Let's have an analysis of what went wrong and how to fix it. There's a lot going on in the southern zone from Manu. Are we aware that just last 3 weeks, serious fights are going on in Manu with more than 13 forces died? There's a lot going on in other counties, but because FACO is in southern zone, it is being shown as if every southern zone is dead. Everything is been going on. We've seen a video going around where someone is now saying that the struggle is now in northwest struggle.
Yeah, I was very disgusted with that video. That guy must be a La Republique du Cameroon agent out there. He has become a celebrity on my media prime, and he goes there and just the other day I heard him saying that Chris Andrew said we should take federation.
This guy has Manu. Manu was the first place that fighting started. That the opposition started. Many of the fighters who are in northern zone, they started in Manu. They graduated and moved over to the northern zone. There's a lot still going on in the southern zone, but because Falcon has been officially so quiet and so, that is what the French Cameroon is putting ahead. So let us have an analysis, an in-depth, truth analysis of what went wrong and how to fix it. It is time for us to steam Boya and steam Boya very hard.
Well, listen, not to over-labor the subject. I can assure you that analysis is being done. However, when somebody is out there trying to insert himself where he should not, you can't avoid talking about that. Let's move to another subject here and get in Aaron Cow to weigh in on some of this. We have, ladies and gentlemen, a big problem on the ground. It is that of what they call blacklegism. Blacklegism, it is constituting a big problem on the ground where even civilians are beginning to call up the invading force, the Republique of Cameroon forces, against our restoration fighters. We saw that in the Oku just about 2 weeks ago. We saw that in Nguti. I think we've also seen that in Manfe or somewhere in Manu. But we have also seen it just only days ago in Guzang and Batebo, where we had 8 people gone down by La Republique of Cameroon forces led there by a black leg. Let me get to Aaron Carr. If Aaron can hear me, I hope Aaron you can hear me. I don't see your audio on, Aaron. Okay, yeah, your audio is on. Please, if you can move your camera, centralize yourself in your camera, please. Centralize yourself.
Am I okay, Chris?
Be in the middle of your screen. See yourself in the middle of your screen, please.
Is that better?
All right, we can manage that. So,
thanks.
Thank you for joining the show, Aaron, for the first time. And I know you have been reading about this blacklegism phenomenon that is going on ground zero, leading to the killing of so many of our fighters on the ground. What can we do to this phenomenon, in your opinion?
Thank you so much, Chris, and my regards to Comrade Mark Barretta and to Doctor. And thank you, Chris. Your voice is a voice of freedom, Chris. I consider your voice the voice of power and the voice of education for the Ambazonian people. And thank you in a big way for having me on your show today. Chris, before I dive into what you're calling blacklegism, let me just throw a few words on the issue that we just discussed, which is on the issue of the lockdown. I think Ambazonia is not a church, Chris. I like to laugh when I think about it. Someone thinks that Ambazonia is a church where he can manage it like a church, run it like the head of the church decides what should happen. The answer is no. There are also a group of people who think that Ambazonia is a full house. They wake up in the morning and they decide anything to say. This issue of Sako, or whatever he calls himself, I think he's a clown. I don't want to belabor the point that on what the Constitution says, but we all know that Sako is a clown, dead and alive. We have an Ambazonia, dead and alive, who's a clown. The first one is Sako, because he definitely knows that what he's doing is raining chaos and disorder. And because the people in Ground Zero are frustrated, they are tired, and they need hope. He is doing this, and because more people are falling into this trap, that's why we are getting a lot of people who are backsliding. We are getting a lot of blacklegs. We are getting people who are getting frustrated with the revolution because they're looking ahead and they're not finding a leadership that's able to tell them what they are supposed to do, because what the likes of Sako and the group is doing is they're brainwashing a lot of people around. So, Chris, to go back to your question on what you are asking is, what can we do? This is the question. we need to start going back to our counties by counties, and looking at the counties and reevaluating how our counties are built up, and we'll be able to fish out those people who are there. The big thing is we have our elites who've gone down to La Republique. They've all taken the money. They've also been brainwashed. And then they come back with the money. They use their CPDM cultism or whatever they call them. And then they brainwash people. And you find anybody who is CPDM within the community is a blackleg. And these people are paid on daily basis to call our people by name, to pinpoint our boys, to smear people, you know, to radicalize people in a negative direction. So these are some of the big issues that are on ground zero. And I think, Chris, that for us to be able to kill this issue of blacklegs, get people back focused, is that we need to go back to the counties, rebuild the counties on ground zero, and then identifying people with infiltrators, strangers, because once you see someone in your community that you don't recognize, please, I bet you, either he's trying to get information, or either he's trying to get somebody smacked, or he's trying to pinpoint a boy, or he's trying to get some information out there. So this is a very, very, very big issue. But then at the same time, it's also very difficult because on ground zero, precisely on the northern zone, we have the likes of Atango boys. And they are doing a very dangerous job over there, Chris, you know that. Right. And they go around, they commit crimes in the name of Ambazonia, and they try to paint the revolution as black as much as they can do this. And so this is setting in a lot of chaos over there. I think your management needs to sit back and don't only put this issue over social media for us to look at it and ask ourselves, what do we do? There needs to be a big strategy because everyone is coming into the fray. There are a lot of people in the impact zone, and you ask yourself what role they are playing, you will not be able to get through. So, Chris, that's my look at it for now. I might have to chip in one or two things, but I think that we need to repeal our counties and refocus our people that we work with, because down there on ground zero, everybody pretends to work with us, and there's nobody working with us precisely. The boys are there doing their thing, and there are people within the communities who are supposed to support the boys, but they are not, and they've turned into blacklegs. So what do? So we need to build back the counties, go back to local government areas, and talk to people and rebuild confidence, build hope.
But you know that
get
when
the women
we
to
talk
support
about
us.
blacklegs, we are not limited to these boys running away from the camps and joining the DDROs or giving La Republique du Cameroon information. You also have this elite. They pose a big threat. All these so-called cultural and development leaders that constitute the elite in Yaoundé and so on, you see them holding conferences. I don't know whether you guys have observed this. They are holding, this elite, they are holding meetings here and there, and you see the idea is, let's get the IDP returned home. Let's get school resuming home. Let's get the hospitals rebuilt so that people can go back home. Let's not just allow. They are essentially trying to kill the revolution. And they do this, they pick information from our fighters, send them to the soldiers who go killing them. I mean, are we going to spare this elite? Let me talk to Caroline Mara first on this, please. Caroline, give me your take on this.
Yes, Secretary Chris. Secretary Chris. The problem about the blackleg in Ambazonia is what have gone wrong with the revolution. We have a lot of people on the ground. La Republique is trying to turn the revolution into giving them fake news, and we in the diaspora, we are not helping matter. I will ask Ambazonians, I will ask Ambazonian leadership, what is La Republique citizen not suffering the same pain we are suffering? Why is La Republique citizen people are still having shop in Ambazonia, going there and working freely in Ambazonia? Do we not think that they are even part of people, those blacklegs? Do we even know that they are even the people brainwashing our people? We get to know that we are at war. When La Republique go around, burn our houses, we don't see any Francophone house to be burned. So they target our houses and burn our people alive. So we can also target their houses and burn their people. We need to build back the dynamic on the ground. We need to bring back the hope our people was having on us in 2018, 2020. We need to build back that momentum. How do we do that? We need to show our people that we are with them. Get back to our country, get back to our LGA, and give them hope. Tell them that the things are not going to be like before. Do we have a new leadership that is going to change things around? We have those black legs. Once we capture like 5 and deal with them, they will rethink. Once we try to build the trust back, because our people don't actually know that Atanganji Paul get the own Amber Boys, 6 Amber Boys that are kidnapping people for ransom. Our people don't actually know that we have some thieves, criminals that are hiding behind the revolution to do bad to our people, to make them hate our revolution, to make them hate Ambazonia revolution. We get to work on that. We get to educate our people on the ground that when it's wartime, so everybody use opportunity to do anything. They get to trust in us. They get to know that we care for them and we are there to free them for the terrorist regime La Republique. We can never be there to hurt them. We want the best for our country, and anything that goes wrong, they should know it's Atanganji Paul boys. So we get to start the educating our people, NGA by NGA, county by county. We get some criminals calling the chief and elite, still working free in Ambazonia. We have someone like Moja. That criminal mad person calling himself a chief, still working free in Ambazonia, making video. We have a lot of people, CPDM people, strong CPDM supporter, still working free in Ambazonia until we teach them a lesson. We are not going to, they are not going to backfire. So we get to start targeting them one by one. We target them, we show them pepper. Any republic in Ambazonia, we burn them. Because right now, when they are born, they get a mistake. We go also born by mistake. We get to start making them feel the pain we are feeling. All the black men, they catch you. If you are black and they catch you, go see pepper. We get to start educating our people on the ground. We get to start building the momentum. We get to start giving them the hope again. So that is the time to work on the strategy and to work also on the momentum on the ground. Our people watch social media. Our people are on social media. We can use the social media to give them hope back. We can use our NGA to give them the momentum and educate our people. Our people need education. Some are from Black Lake because they are confused. Some of them are actually at Anganjipol and those francophones, La Republique citizens in Ambazonia. We get to reach out to our people and educate them because right now there are many things going wrong on the ground and we get to fix it. So the Bitcoin cabal have bring a lot of wrongs on the ground and this is the time to do the right thing. Yes, we are going to refocus. We are going to put back the FACO Restoration Council is dissolved for the outcome to take place. We are going to make many things happen. All the black legs will not be radio. Now, not the Bitcoin cabal, they in charge. Now, so, now Ambazonians, they in charge. Now, so, not the Bitcoin with the plane and war with the come to fight. So thank you, Secretary Chris.
All right, thank you. Let me get to Dr. Atienjo and get your take on this. And I know that your own LGA of Ngui has its own fair share of these black legs. They were the ones that started holding these cultural comes together, raising funds in Bamenda for so-called IDPs to return home. What should we do with them?
Secretary Chris, I want to say this, and I'm very happy you brought this idea of my LGA on the table here, and I want to use it to dissect it, and then we actually use it as an example to actually prove to the other LGAs and counties that work has already begun. We have an operation which is called Operation No Mercy, which has come through this new government, Iya Marietta, and we know that when the former president, impeached president was in place, he brought a fraudulent scheme whose objective was to actually replace all the LGA chairmen and county chairs who stood their ground and were objective. So now replacing them with the stooges like the hoodlums that were put in position in LGA, they actually gave them an opportunity that actually crumble our LGA. And for your information, for the records, Ngi LGA was the first constituted LGA in the history of Amber Peace Plan. And this LGA was demolished it took just a few days for it to be demolished. And some hand clappers and hoodlums were planted there in the form of an executive or leadership. These people opened the way out there for the CPM elites and blacklegs, and they went in and then killed almost everybody that was there in terms of the fighters who were on the ground, because they were so vulnerable. They did not take care of them. They did not protect them, and everything that was done was just to open the way. And the elites went in. All these meetings started opening, and people were going to Ngi. But I have good news for the revolution. For the past 3 weeks now, we have activated Operation No Mercy in Ngi, and that is why you are not going to hear any noise come from the Ngi LGA, because our boys we have activated our boys, and they have taken over control of the entire LGA. And we have formulated a new LGA executive, and we have constituted a very strong foundation for our LGA, which has already begun, and things are going to work for the better for this revolution. Talking about blacklegs, yes, we know that a lot of people have infiltrated our people. And these elites who go to Yaoundé and come there with bags of money, they come back home, they come home and intoxicate our boys, intoxicate the populations, and especially the funds, hungry funds. Most of the funds in the Amazonia have been transformed to beggars because of this issue of title or of a classification of funds. So they actually put them into a competition where they go and fight to be classified as second class, first class, and third class funds, so that they can receive some kind of tokens at the end of the month, or stipends at the end of every month. So this thing has made them to be so gullible to an extent that they prefer to sell their population, to mislead and betray their populations in order to receive these goodies from La Republique. So the funds have always failed us, and even can take us back to the era of slave trade. Most of the slaves that left Africa were sold by funds who were given bottles of whiskey, and they drank all this, and then they would sell everybody in their village, any strong man or strong woman who was in their village. So this institution has been a failure to the Amazonians, and we need to look at that. We need to take a serious look at the funds and make sure that we check them out. And then the elites of the ruling party, as they call it, like the chiefs, the mayors, the parliamentarians, the section presidents, these are the people that are perpetrating all this chaos of blacklegism in the Amazonia. And they have to actually hold them accountable, because if they do not give them that opportunity to go right to the grassroots or to the villages or to the LGAs to exhibit or display whatever scam or scheme they have, they would not have the opportunity to go and explain to the master that things are fine on the ground. So we have to make the ground hot for them, so that if they escape being lynched and go to Yaoundé, they should stay there permanently and not even to go pass around Amazonia, because if we don't do this, these people will keep on coming every moment to corrupt our people. You know, these are people who are fighting for their positions, and they are fighting for their for personal interests, not for the interests of Amazonians. One thing that I would like to tell our boys on the ground is that I also want to reiterate here, like re-echo what the female general brought here. There are some of our boys. When you see a true Amazonian fighter is the one who is not out there to take ransom, is one who is not out there to create vulnerability to our population, is one who protects our people. Instead of fighting against our people, he or she protects our people. So we have a lot of people who are in this revolution just because they were natural thieves who just crawl in and use the word Amber Boy as a cover to keep on perpetrating havoc within the communities. We have people who are not here, who have been corrupted and are given some money to even sell our boys. These are people we also have. We should not only look at the politicians per se, but we should also look at the agents through which who serve as a vehicle for their corruption scheme. Those agents have to be held accountable. If you have agents who go now interact from the middleman position between the civilian elites or the military and the people, these are people that we need to take care of them. Like what happened in Gi 2 weeks ago, an agent was lynched at 2 a.m. in the morning, and that sent a sound, a warning to the elites of the place. And there was, I mean, they say in Pidgin, cry day for uphouse. There was a lot of lamentation within the ranks of the leadership of the CPDM and also the military in Gi, because their own connection was actually obliterated, and now these people were lost. So they are completely lost now, and they have no other means to actually go to Ngi right now. So
all right,
you can
comrade,
see that
hold it there.
Yes.
Let's take a brief break out, and we'll come back right onto that subject. Please stay put.
Honorable Joseph Wirba gathers Ambazonians. The time for his long-awaited great vision for the liberation of Ambazonia has come. The vision that inspired him to stand up for southern Cameroons in Cameroon's parliament to condemn Ambazonia's subjugation. The vision that got the oppressors hunting for his head. Wirba's vision for the freedom of Ambazonia is even stronger and clearer today than before. Let's come together, stand by him and with him. Join him in Stuttgart, Germany for the great come together on freeing Ambazonia. Wirba now has a direct route to Ambazonia's liberation. All routes lead to Stuttgart, Germany on Saturday, May 14th. Be there. Honorable Joseph Wirba gathers Ambazonians. The time for his long-awaited great vision for the liberation of Ambazonia has come. The vision that inspired him to stand up for southern Cameroons in Cameroon's parliament to condemn Ambazonia's subjugation. The vision that got the oppressors hunting for his head. Wirba's vision for the freedom of Ambazonia is even stronger and clearer today than before. Let's come together, stand by him and with him. Join him in Stuttgart, Germany for the great come together on freeing Ambazonia. Wirba now has a direct route to Ambazonia's liberation. All routes lead to Stuttgart, Germany on Saturday, May 14th. Be there.
All right, thank you for staying put there, ladies and gentlemen. Just before I continue, I just want to remind all of you that the Zoom meeting to raise funds to save Ambazonia is now open. The Zoom room is open. You want to join that Zoom meeting to put in your widow's mite. You have the Zoom ID and the Zoom passcode rolling in on the bottom of your screen there. By the moment we end this broadcast, I would expect every one of you to join the Zoom meeting. Now, we are still on this subject of blacklegism. It is very, very important, and I'd like us to please take a look at this. Take a look at this.
I salute all people them for Ambazonia. Say Red Dragon don't come again. Guys, Red Dragon are medicine for republique. And all who don't want to get Blackfoot for this struggle for Ambazonia land. And I want to talk something today. We don't make my heart, it don't vex. For way to wait some of we, when they say the day for inside this struggle, they do, we're not fine. We're not fine at all. Red Dragon don't vex, no be so? And so! Because we hear nonsense where people them there for upside they collect money. For say, Ambazonia people, they not even fit for get pity. For we pay them, we mami them, for we sister them, we brother them, for they don't die for this struggle. But what makes Ambazonia land, me know from today, say Red Dragon must find so take go reach the last blood for people who don't lose them for East Ambazonia land. President Sisiko, it won't be a long time where they make the cash. And as also Ambazonia people, they connect with the republique, they cash the first members of government.
All right, that is talking about blacklegism. Blacklegism, and even our fighters on ground zero have become so much upbeat about what is going on. They do not only leave their ranks to go out to sell them into the hands of La Republique du Cameroon, but even the elite, they do the same thing. They're doing the same thing. Mark Barretta, let me get back to you, and you tell me, what is it going to take for us to get rid of blacklegs on ground zero? Some people say that, oh, they need education, but people like Nambere has taken their leave from ground zero because they do not want to sell their own people. Shouldn't this elite in Yaoundé, the so-called members of these cultural and development associations, be doing the same? Mark Barretta, sir.
Thanks a lot, Comrade Chris. I think that this is a very serious topic, and we have been failing to hit the nail on the head. There is nothing like education. In fact, we have educated Amazonians enough from 2016 to 2017, 18. We have educated enough. There is only one thing we have to do. We all know it. We know it. That thing is called silencing. We need to silence them. That is the only thing. People sit here and they're afraid to say it or so because of that. Okay, now Mark Barretta is saying it. The only thing we can do to this blacklegism is because Amazonians by our nature, we are very good people. We are very soft heart. We are very good people, and that is why people, the others are not coming out saying rubbish like Pastor Ambe, who call himself under my media nonsense. But people are not just saying things because they have seen that we've not done anything to those before. Those before who came before them, we allowed them. We've not done anything, so they too cannot try. And you see how the rate now is increasing. So the only thing we have to do is if we silence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the next one we take. They will sit quiet. So. And we have to do it, and this thing needs a lot of resources and investment. We as Amazonians, my take is that we need to now create a department of blacklegism. Action against that department, we need to create it, pump money into it, define the rules. Who is a blackleg? Listen, there are local blacklegs within the community and villages. Those ones when we define it, we allow our forces to deal with them. There are those who are international, for example, who are based in Douala, Yaoundé, and all those who make those nonsense run and come to Amba. Those ones, they will need a different approach. And that approach, I would say here publicly, is not only a gun. There are many things we can do to silence them and to take them away. If we invest rightly, listen, we are all Amber. And Amber will not be someone who holds gun. Someone can be a journalist who sits in who goes to Yaoundé and is doing a job, but that person is an Amber boy. That journalist, I'm giving an example, who will be in a very good place to silence those people who are saying who are doing blacklegism. So we need to create those rules and state them that who is a black leg, so that we don't silence the wrong person. We identify them. We identify their name to say this is what they have done, and this amount to black legism. Because now that term is just used now. Please, you have been called a black leg. I've been called a black leg. So it's just being used now anyhow. So we need to really invest on it. Come up with those principles. Who is a black leg? Put money into it. Put people who are only based in Doma Yaoundé, whose job is to carry out those type of things. We need those type of spies. I can't say more, but the whole idea is that we need to start to silence. God will not punish us. God will not punish us because this is war.
Yes, it is war indeed, and well said, Mark Barita. I think good examples need to be set on some of these black legs for them to know that we are indeed serious, we mean business, and anybody trying to scuttle what we're trying to do will pay for it ultimately. Patrick Ekema did. All right. Let me move to one.
Chris,
yes, Carl, go on.
Thank you, Chris. I was just going to say that the worst black legs are in the diaspora. I don't know whether you remember that we have a lot of them hanging around here. And in so many areas in the diaspora, from Europe to America to North America, we have a lot of people who are black legs. They speak on behalf of Ambazonia when they are not delegated. They mobilize money on behalf of Ambazonia when it's not their role. They take decisions on behalf of the people to bring this order. And so there's general chaos. So while we are thinking about redoing a strategy where we are thinking about, how to completely erase this, I'll also throw this back to those of us here in the diaspora. How do we completely eliminate the criminals who are here and who are black legs? Because the worst black legs that you will ever find in this revolution, in the Ambazonian revolution, they are in the diaspora. Black legism, like you call, Chris, is one of the characteristics of a revolution. The case of Ambazonia is not an exception, but it is not the worst. But we can manage it. And we can only begin to
ask you. You raise an important point there, Aaron. You have black legs on ground zero. The restoration forces can pick them up. What do you do with black legs in the diaspora?
That's the question, Chris. That's the question.
Answer that question amongst all of you.
Let me give an answer.
Yes, I can answer that.
All right, Mark, go first, please. Mark, you go first.
Yes. Let me give an answer. Let us live within our realities in the diaspora, okay? And while also our people on the ground are living within I want us to be factual. Listen, once we have defined and we have said, and we say part A, part B, this person in the diaspora is a black leg, and it is the person has made all those points of a black leg, massa. We can rally and we go mob beating, get that person well beaten. Listen, no Amazonian in the diaspora has been beaten. That's a simple truth, Just take for example, people in USA in a whole meeting, like let's say Sako calls now for a gathering meeting, and there's a public open fighting. It's an open fight. They won't want anyone. They won't know who has hit Sako on his head, punch him on his face. Open beating, So we need to employ that act. Number two, there are Nakambokos in the diaspora. Nakambokos, people that they need just €5 to get someone scatter someone. Go through third parties. It must not be you. So there are many things we can do to handle black legism in the diaspora. Not only Amazonians, there are people in general like Padia Sanga and the rest who are impersonating Amazonians, saying nonsense while we are doing that, we must also be mindful of the laws within. So there's a way we can circumvent those laws. I can't say much.
All right,
Okay.
Dr. Tianjo, you wanted to add something there.
I have two categories of blacklegisms or blacklegs in the diaspora. We have blacklegs in the diaspora that are in constant communication. They pretend to be part of the revolution, and they're in constant communication with La Republique, leaking all the plans that we have. And then before you know it, our plans are aborted because of the fact that these people are here leaking information. Then the second class of blacklegism are Ambazonians who are so indifferent. They call this revolution Dawuna thing. They have no urge to contribute. They come up with all sort of flimsy excuses. Oh, I am not contributing because so and so person embezzled money, so and so person did this, that, and so forth and so on. They have all sort of flimsy excuses. And you see them in beer parlors buying VIP tables for thousands of dollars or euro just to enjoy themselves, and they are making no contribution to this revolution. And this is what we can do to these people. We know them. Mark, you are there, you know about blacklegs are around you, you know about the investments that they are doing at home. They all do this and try to hide behind all the sort of things, not to contribute, so that they are not out there in the picture, and then to travel and go to La Republique every time they want to, and go to even to ambassador every time they want to. And then when they come back to the diaspora, they talk to us. Oh, I went, what happened to me? Nothing happened to me. We know these people. We need to personally investigate them and put down all the investments they are making. That when we put down those investments, they will know that we are very serious. And I hate to say this, Chris, we have 2% of Ambazonians sponsoring this revolution. That is why when you go for any fundraising, you see the same people contributing every now and then. Where are they? I mean, where's that population that constitutes the 98% of Ambazonians who are not contributing a dime to this revolution? And if you do the math, if we have only 20% of Ambazonians contribute to this revolution, you said something here in the beginning. We need 1,000 people to contribute $200 for an effective takeoff for things to happen on the ground. 1,000 out of 8 million people. That is a very minimal population of Ambazonians. And we are not even able to have that. We don't even have up to 200 people who have contributed $200. So you can see that from this analysis, you see the number of Ambazonians that are supporting this revolution, just 2% on the high side. And this is terrible for our revolution. And we are able to take this revolution up to this level for 5 years with 2% support. Then if we increase it to 20%, just imagine what we are going to have. We have a lot of diasporans who are sitting down and doing nothing. They are not contributing in any form for this revolution. They call it Dawuna thing. That is a statement that I hate to hear, and I've been involved in a lot of arguments in places. I was somewhere in Arizona 2 days ago. I met a very huge population of Ambazonians. And somebody introduced me to one of these gentlemen. I said, oh, he's the president of Cameroon, all Cameroonians in Arizona. I said, oh, really? He said, yes. I met him, I greeted him. I said, how are you doing? I spoke with him, and I understood he was an Ambazonian. I asked him a question. Do you support the Ambazonian struggle? He said, no, because of by virtue of my position as the president of all Cameroonians in Phoenix or Arizona, I do not want to take sides on this issue. I said, so you are a leader of Cameroonians, and you are an Ambazonian, and you don't support Ambazonia? I said, this is despicable. He even invited me to a drink. I said, no, for a drink. I said, no, I can't take, because I consider you a blackleg. So those are the categories of blacklegs we have, and those are the solutions that we can actually undertake in order to teach them a lesson, so that they can come, recourse, and join the revolution.
I hope we really can get them in, ladies and gentlemen. What we are trying to do here is not for our families, it's not for our own immediate aggrandizement, it is not for our own benefit, it is for a country. And I can assure you, we are not even sure whether we shall be there to enjoy the fruit of Ambazonia. But we have to do it for somebody. Somebody has to do it, whether we do it and get it in our own time or not. We just have to do it so that everybody wants to die and live a better future for his or her children, right? That is what this generation is doing for the next generation of Southern Cameroonian Ambazonians. And so, please do not stand on the fringes out there and say, I don't want to be neutral. I want to be neutral. It's like CDN, Coalition for What Dialogue, telling us that they are neutral. They are neutral. How can you be neutral when over 30,000 of your people have been butchered down and over 400 settlements razed down, and you still say you are neutral? Please reconsider. But let's move to the next subject here, which is very, very important. For the past 1 month or a little so, we have seen the Fulanese invading Indu and burning down homes and killing people. They are brought in from Nigeria and they kill people. Now we have also learned that the colonial officials in Indu are involved, engaged in this. They are seizing people's lands, confiscating indigenous people's land while they flee away. And they bring in the Fulani into Indu local government. Now, there is something going on in Bamenda. I don't know whether it has ended or not. But we learned that women from Indu walked down to Bamenda in camp at the colonial governor's office upstation Bamenda, and they have been there now, I think, for 4 nights, sleeping at the premises, demanding justice from the colonial governor. And for 4 days, the colonial governor has refused to even listen to them. And these women are sleeping, ladies and gentlemen, on the grass out there. It seems Aaron has some information about that. But before we get there, let me bring you a footage here from one of the women sleeping at a residence at the office of the governor in Bamenda. Let's see if we can find that footage. Let's see if we can find that footage here and bring it on. Okay, listen to this footage from Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen.
Madam, just explain to me what you people have been going through, how the administration has been handling this matter, and for you people to have come up here to Bamenda to see the governor, it means you are not satisfied with the decision of the administration. I bet as somebody who has lived in the area and observed a number of things, just tell me how things have been unveiling in that area.
Yes, Mr. Journalist, it is a very painful situation as we are seeing here. What Njirong person has been going through, it is above what somebody can even tell.
What are those things?
The administration of Donga and Mantun division, I can call them corrupt. I'm saying this with my bold and free mind. I call them corrupt because this Njirong land, there are about 3 land decisions that have been rolled in that land. And the last land decision that was rolled in 2013, the Tumbo man left the land completely. For 7 years, Tumbo people have never been working in that land, and there was peace in the land. So when the present Joe, Mr. Quenty, who is on power, I can call him a corrupt man, a senior divisional officer for Donga Mountain Division. When he came, the Tumbo man went behind and saw him again. As I can say, they bribed him because as presently he has water in his mouth, he cannot even say a word. What proves that he can't say a word? He cannot say a word because when he calls a meeting, like the last meeting that was called between our own firm, the firm of Njirong and the firm of Tumbo, that man walked out of the meeting. Who walked out of the meeting? The firm of Tumbo walked out of the meeting. When the meeting was still midway, he walked out of, and nothing was done to him. That is why I see that the man is corrupt. And the meeting that was held in Ndu, the all forms meeting that was held in Ndu, he also walked out of the meeting. and nothing was done to the man. So I believe that, and the Tumbo man is openly saying is that if the DO of Gambia does not give their money that they have given to him,
the SDO or the DO,
the senior divisional officer, does not give their money, they will not leave the land until they take their money. That he is the one who has carried them to that land. So he will only take them out of the land if they have their money that they have given to him. So we are here, we are stranded. We don't.
What are the destruction so far?
The destruction that burned over 100 houses presently. The few houses that are remaining there, they are still coming, removing zinc, constructing their own houses. Even the blocks, they still coming, removing the blocks to construct their own houses. They have killed. I sitting here, they have killed my son, who was an agri-technician. He was working at Ekona. Due to the crisis, the present crisis, he left Ekona, came back to the village to take care of the father's farm that he was there, Nganjo Stanley. He was butchered and killed by the Ntumbo people. He died on the 24th of September.
What about the crops that you people are cultivating?
The crops, there is nothing. We are not counting on anything because they harvested everything. Even the present crops that have just been planted as rain fell, they have sprayed it with the chemicals. You know, the chemicals that kill crops. They have sprayed it, and they are not planting their own crops. So the women are frustrated, stranded, and you see them sitting here. There is no way they can go, as they are advising us at the governor's office to go back. We don't actually know where to go to because there is no peace. They have guns, they have cutlasses that they are threatening people.
They have guns and they are military there. Can the military not seize the guns?
We don't even know. We don't understand. We don't understand the decision of the government. We don't even understand the complete administration of Donga Mantu Division. We don't even know their role again because they act with guns, they act with cutlasses. When you go to your farm, very soon you see somebody behind you with a cutlass. So there is no peace, there is no security. We don't know what to do. That is what we came here today to cry to the governor. If he cannot take.
Well, that lady, ladies and gentlemen, is narrating there what is going on in Indu. The attack on innocent civilians by Mborolo Fulanis, hired there by Willern, the colonial divisional officer, even including the mayor. They are hired there. They come with guns and machetes to fight and kill the local population. And we have some images of houses burned, people killed in that community. This has been going on for, I think, going to 2 months. And these women, they are sleeping at the colonial governor's residence in Bamenda. And it is the 4th day, and he will not say a word. Aaron Carr, what do you know about this situation, sir?
Well, Chris, just like you, I've been picking the facts on social media and trying to make a story out of the chaos that is coming out of Tongo Mantum.
We are not part of Cameroon.
I'll tell you, Chris, that what is happening over there in Tongo Mantum is from La Republique playbook. And not only from their playbook, it is an alliance between French Cameroon and the Fulanese out there. This thing started very slowly down the line a year ago, and now it is getting to a level where a proportion where we cannot describe. I mean, taking the statistics on what the lady in the video is saying, more than 150 houses burned. These women have lost their livelihood, which means they don't have farms, they don't have homes to sleep, they don't have crops. And they all said, no, we have been crying this for long, and these people do this with impunity in the eye of the military. How can we get this solved? And they now decided to get to Bamenda and to talk to the colonial leader there, who calls himself Mr. Lily Lafric. And so while there, these women are rather asked to denounce the Amber Revolution so that they can get government favor. And so this is crazy, Chris. And so the situation out there is dilapidating. It's not only dilapidating. I would say that it's crazy and it's very, very, very pathetic. All the Donga Mantum women that you know, they are all now in Bamenda. They've been sleeping there and they've been begging. And do you hear me, Chris?
Yes, sir. 515.
Yes, these women have been calling for help. They have been asking for someone to come to their rescue, and no one is doing that. And these Fulani guys are there. They are well armed. They do these things in front of the military. The military is seeing them. No one is saying anything. The Donga Mantum elite is there, cheering on the Fulanis to wage a war against the indigenous people. And because they know that this is a kind of divide and rule, you know, once there is divide and rule, the people are going to be weakened, and so they are going to achieve their aim. Now, while at the governor's residence, the people are only trying to show that these women are around there because Amber has driven them from their livelihood, and because the revolution has traumatized them to a level where they cannot cope on their own homeland. And so it's a devilish system. It's a devilish government. And I wonder whether Donga Mantum elite, Anglophone elite, Southern Cameroon elite, when they sleep in Yaoundé, do they sleep well? What do they think about their children, their mothers, their sisters, women like this crying? They have nowhere to sleep, no one to talk to. And what the regime is doing is only to project it like a revolt against the Ambazonian revolution. So it's very sympathetic, Chris. Very, very, very sympathetic. You know, for a very long time now, the people of Donga Mantum, precisely in Kambe, they've been trying to project themselves like the strong baby of La Republique in Ambazonia, trying to show that things are normal. But then these are the same women coming from the same division who are crying. These are women coming from the same area where, you know, one Galagerian who impersonates that he's a peacemaker and is raining chaos over there, I mean, just to score the points. So it's a thing that I think that the leadership of the revolution should look at it and see what they should do. These women have been down there for the past 4 days, like she's saying. No one is talking to them. And all they want to do is the administration, the colonial regime wants them to write and take commitments that they are revolting, not because their livelihood is destroyed by Fulanis, but because they are driven from their land by Amber boys. And they are asked to denounce Amber boys. How do you denounce what you don't have control over? How do you denounce people that you don't, how do you denounce yourself?
Yeah.
For a favor from someone that, it's crazy, Chris. So this is what I just call, it's just devilish. And people sit down there, no one is saying nothing, no one is talking to them, and they are just there and they are just crying and they are just looking pitiful. No one in Donga Mantum, like an elite, is raising a voice, and people are all intimidated. So it's so sad, Chris. I don't want to talk about it, but I know that I don't know who is listening to me at this time or watching the show at this time. I like to tell the people over there, if they like the Fulanis precisely, if they like, they can continue with the La Republique playbook out there. It's not going to be long. They know that all of these villages, they have traditional boundaries. They have landmarks where this is your land, this is mine. And I don't think that the Fulanis will want to use the Ambazonian revolution as a time to invade our people, as a time to encroach into people's lands, get their livestock, feed on people's crops, and try to show that they are on the side of La Republique in exchange for land. I think that there's coming a time where they will pay a price for that. And I know that only time will tell, and time will surely tell. I really send my sympathies to these women on ground zero. It's always so sympathetic, Chris, that you watch this from afar and there's nothing you can do. Sometimes I don't know how much prayers can work on issues like this, but I feel so sorry. And I know that this is when people get radicalized. This is when you get women talking in whispers and they all wish they were men to get to the bushes and fight. These women are down there. What is their crime? Right. What is their crime, Chris?
Thank you. Let's get to the female general. This is not only happening in Du. In Oku, 40 Okada riders were picked up, and still up to today, nobody knows where they are. Nobody knows where they are. Have you heard anything about it?
Yeah, we'll talk about the issue in Zoo first before going to the other issue. La Republique is trying to use Fulani people against our people. They are trying to use Fulani people to frustrate Ambazonians. They are trying to frustrate our people. Just see how wicked those people are. Huh? Where's Ghana Jera with his big stomach? He was there saying that the space in do everything is in control. Where is it now? When Fulani people are using Fulani people to come and burn houses, claiming property. It's a good lesson for our people on Ground Zero to understand why we are fighting. We are fighting because of things like that. La Republique is trying to bring in Fulani to claim our land, to bring in distraction into. They want people to believe that it's Ambazonians going to the houses. They want people to believe, what is this woman going to denounce Ambazonia for? Is Ambazonia taking their lands? What do they want them? What do they want them to say? Do they want them to say lies? Fulani have come and take their land, claim their property, and they're asking them to write a letter saying that Ambazonia. Are they really like? I feel the frustration. I feel the madness somewhere. It's like La Republique is totally confused. My fellow Ambazonians, my people, that's more reason why we get to donate money and make sure we solve those kind of issues. We solve those kind of issues because 150 house born, and they have been there in that Lady Afrique, that criminal called governor. I don't even know who made him governor. I don't even know why he's still there. They have not even burned that stupid place for already. They went there for more than 4 days, and the foolish man have not even bothered. He's asking them to denounce Ambazonia. It's Ambazonians, the people burning their houses. It's Ambazonia, the Fulani. They went to take Fulani to come and fight our people, and now they want our people to fight Ambazonia, people that are there to protect them. Huh? And we see a video of a youth being killed in Oku, claiming they are Amba boys. The woman even said in the video in June that her son was killed also. So can we Ambazonians reason and know that La Republique doesn't mean anything good for us? Can we just not see that as a strategy, an evil strategy to finish all of us? So I think it's right time we stand together. It's right time we know that La Republique means no good to us. The situation is very bad in Oku. We see our youth being killed. I saw that video last time. I was so mad. I could not hold it. Those youth are not even, I'm sure they are part of the people that say it's down nothing. But they are being killed for nothing. So why will you be killed for nothing? Why if you can actually fight? So all Ambazonians get to take guns now because we see they don't talk say to solve their problem, they must write say Ambazonia Retio or na Ambazonia Fulani people or Ambazonia Retio. When I see a mother, she's look tired, she's look depressed, but they are still giving her conditions that we will help you, but you should denounce Ambazonians. How can she denounce Ambazonia? What is not even Ambazonians burning their houses? They are talking of Fulani. What is the difference? They don't know the difference between Fulani and Ambazonia. This is so sad, Secretary Chris. I'm short of words. Thank you.
All right. Let me get to Dr. Atianjo. Please chip in what you think about this situation. The 40 picked up and the killings in Ndu going on Petub, and the French Cameroon officials are just sitting there and enjoying it, I guess.
Yeah, Secretary Chris, all these things, they are all an embodiment of the blacklegism that we've been talking about. Our brothers, the Fulanis who have been actually used to fight against the local population is, I come from a village or my area where we have Fulanis and we've been dealing so well with them, relating well with them. So I think that what is happening in Du is a very, very pathetic situation, which needs a lot of action to take place. And these Fulanis need to be reminded that we have lived together as Ambazonians or in that area for a very long time. The coexistence has been there for a long time. And La Republique should not use them during this time that we are fighting to pit them against this the local population. And one thing again that they need to let them understand is that one day this war is going to end, and we are still going to be there, and they will also be there. So we have to, either way, whatever happens, we've been there before, and after this war, we are still going to be there. And do they look at things the way they will appear when things happen, when things settle down? So that is something they need to remind them of, and that might actually make them to start wearing their thinking caps. Then, with the case of Oku, I know that these 30 innocent bike riders have been picked up, and they were not just picked up like that. They were picked up because somebody led the La Republique administration to pick these people up. Maybe they related them to some kind of relation or link to some Amber boys, and then said, okay, these people should be picked up. So we have to hold those people accountable. Those who we have to build the heat, so that the blacklegs, when the blacklegs feel the heat, they will go on running to these people, and they say that, okay, if a blackleg is discovered, who actually led these people to arrest these 30 boys? They hold their own families responsible. If they kill one boy, they kill yours. They kill one boy, another boy, they kill yours. These people will run and ask La Republique to release these people. That is what we have to do. We cannot keep on to be entertaining all these excesses from these people. The blacklegism has to be stopped. We have to erase it and make sure that our people live in peace, not being betrayed. And our boys, these are boys, bike riders, who knows? Some of them are married. Some of them have children.
Doctor,
in order to, sorry?
Yes, doctor, I just wanted to...
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, doctor, I just wanted to chip in to say that, just to add before I forget, because I'm actually suffocating with what is happening in Uku. What is happening in Uku, Chris, is very pathetic, and it's just indicative of how people have been brainwashed and how La Republique is bent on, eliminating, exterminating our young population out there. The 40 boys who were picked up by La Republique, they got angry. These are bike riders. Some are doing petty jobs in Bamenda, what you call the living hand to mouth, defending for themselves. And they got angry because one Uku young man, I hear he was in Chang. He arrived Bamenda a week before the incident and then was picked up by La Republique forces. He was shot in Foncha Street and dumped in the river. And these boys said, how do you kill one of us like this, like a chicken? This is, even if it's cockroach, this is exaggerating. And so they picked up the boy. All of them came out in Bamenda, all bike riders from Uku, and they took this boy and they gave him a befitting burial. On their arrival, like La Republique has his plans, the bees and whatever you call themselves, the gangsters and the terrorists, they came out in Ngoki Tunja, intercepted the boys, and said they were Amber boys. The first thing is their first crime, or what they were attacking against them to pick them, was that they tell you look like an Amber boy. So the question was, how do I look like an Amber boy? And who in Southern Cameroon is not an Ambazonian? Who in Southern Cameroon is not for the revolution? And so they pick up this boy. When they look at your hair, they say your hair looks rough. They say you don't look clean. Then you're an Amber boy. They pick them. Chris, behold, some of these boys were flocked to pop. Some of these boys were flocked. The flocking that they gave these boys, is unbelievable. And some were released, and a group of them were taken. Some of them were taken to the Bafut airport. Some were locked up in Dop, and some have been, incarcerated or detained at the Bafut airport under unbearable conditions. Some beaten and humiliated, and some asked to swear that they are Amber boys. And what's happening now is not even because they are detained. The worst thing and the worst news that is coming out of it is that these boys are asked to pay ransom before they can be released. And I read somewhere where a parent is saying that he was called to provide 3 million before his son could be released. And this is a government that is saying that Ambazonia is taking ransom. And look at what they are doing. Openly and without shame. Clean and clear. And they tell you they need a ransom before your son can be released. And the question I now ask myself is, what is his crime? And you find that these boys have no crime. They have all been there. And these people sit down there and they say they need ransom from these boys. So it's quite unfortunate, Chris. I think this is a thing. This is an issue that I think that all Ambazonians on their various platforms should be able to talk about it loud and clear and to denounce it. And they are threatening that if they don't pay ransom, they are going to eliminate them, like what they've been doing. And statistics like this, Chris, tell us that this is no longer a genocide. This is extermination, just eliminating a generation because you don't like them, because they look like somebody you don't like, because you come from an area that I don't like. I'm going to eliminate them. And these people kill our children like cockroaches. And so it's really, really, really pitiful. If you look at the videos, like what you were seeing there in the pictures, these are young boys who have families. Some of them have wives. Their wives have been waiting for them. They are breadwinners. They're struggling. They have families back at home to take care for, and they have all been detained illegally and in a very criminal way, in a dehumanizing way. And I just thank you, Chris, for bringing this up. And I think that we need to press
Mark and see what information Mark has on this. Mark, please.
Okay.
Yeah, Comrade Chris, thank you. I've just been listening to all the panelists regarding this. You know what Cameroon is doing. Their action is born out of frustration. Someone in Oku is trying to show the world that they are in charge. Someone in Oku is trying to show Paul Biya and his colleagues that we have taken care of Ambazonia in Oku. That is why they will engineer our parents to come out and protest and carry flag and say we don't want Amba, and now they are arresting 40 bike riders and they claim that they are Amazonian fighters. Someone's an Amazonian fighter, they will move in that crowd, 40 of them, without any guns on them, without anything. Where are they going to? So I think La Republique action only hardens, what they are doing to these young people who are struggling to put food on their table. These young people, they have their wives, children, brothers and sisters that they are taking care of. In fact, the war in Amazon is already hard on them. The conflict is already hard on them. So attacking them, asking for ransom is something that, these are things that brings the people again closer to us, make people to love the revolution, because what they are doing is like some people say, when the Lord want to make you kill you, or they first make you mad. So that is what these French Cameroon actors are doing. And they'll be the ones out there shouting and saying, oh, I'm the one kidnapping. Now, look at even Guardian Post. They're not saying anything. My media or that
you are very correct. I have not seen any newspaper there mention that Cameroon soldiers abducted 40 citizens.
All of them, from the post, all of them, they are quiet. But imagine that 40 students or 40 people were taken by unidentified young gunmen, as they say it would have been news everywhere. So even our own so-called Anglophone media, they have been pumped with illegal money to fight against us, to stifle the information, to not publish the truth. Now everybody is quiet. They are quiet. They are not saying anything. These are young people who are fighting for their own. And so French Cameroon is the kidnapper here. They are those who are kidnapping. They started by kidnapping our leaders in Nigeria and took them to Cameroon. Now they are kidnapping young men. I beg you, even in Boya, some people say Amba is no more in Boya. Then you have to hear they have arrested someone in Boya who is saying French Cameroon forces they are not disguising. They are not dressing and acting like our people, getting money from our parents, arresting people, texting people, and asking for ransom. Like I said before, anyone out there can claim that the person is Amber or so. So many bad things go on in French Cameroon. Nobody accused Amber. But it happens in Amazonia. Everything is Amber. You know, giving a dog a bad name to hang it. We are not saying that our boys are all angels. Even myself, I'm not an angel. I have my own sad part. So we need to expose this more. We need to contact our contacts in all departments, in all government in the world, to tell them that this is what French Cameroon is doing. They need to release those people alive, strong and healthy. You know, and we need to be forceful on the media to tell our people that, look at, this is what French Cameroon is doing. Are these the criminals? Are these the thugs that we want to continue to live with? But again, trust me, there is a hand. And that hand is coming from Yaoundé. There's an ally in Yaoundé who is doing all of this because of political gains. That is why we must silence these people. We must silence them. We have no option now. If before we were just joking, now we must not joke. We must silence them.
All right, Dr. Atienjo, your turn on this.
Yes, I had already said something about this, and I was about to say something before my brother Aaron came in. I was trying to making a very important contribution about these boys. Yes, there must be somebody responsible for this arrest of 40 innocent young boys, and these people have to be held accountable. And these boys, they have parents, they have families, and the families should speak up. They need to stand up and not be afraid of anybody. I know that the former prime minister is from Oko, and they might be thinking that they are going to use their heavy fists to actually pound on them, but no, they need to stand up for their children and make sure that their children are released. And if they join the crowd, others are going to join. Aunties, aunts, uncles, and people are going to join, and eventually the crowd is going to be bigger and bigger until the La Republique will not be able to handle it, and they're going to release these boys, because this is completely unacceptable. These are boys who are working to actually put food on their table, and they need to allow them to actually sustain their families, given the hardship that they have endured during this struggle, and they are trying to actually accommodate the harsh conditions, and they still put them in through this suffering. This is completely unacceptable, and we got to do something. So the war against the blacklegism is real, and we all as Ambazonians have to take it very seriously. Just like Comrade Mark said earlier here, we have to be serious this time. If we were playing, this time is time for us to take action, serious action, and do what is right for our people. Our liberation is on course, and we have to keep it rolling until when we get to Boya. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We will take a short break out, and when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, who burnt down Manfay Park with all the cars? Please stay tuned and do not go anywhere. And remember that the Zoom meeting is on right now, and we will hope that each and every one of you will leave this broadcast and join the Zoom meeting. Let us all raise funds to empower the fighters on the ground. That is all that we can do, those of us in the diaspora. So please stay tuned.
Honorable Joseph Wirba gathers Ambazonians. The time for his long-awaited great vision for the liberation of Ambazonia has come. The vision that inspired him to stand up for Southern Cameroons in Cameroon's parliament to condemn Ambazonia's subjugation. The vision that got the oppressors hunting for his head. Wirba's vision for the freedom of Ambazonia is even stronger and clearer today than before. Let's come together, stand by him and with him. Join him in Stuttgart, Germany for the great come together on freeing Ambazonia. Wirba now has a direct route to Ambazonia's liberation. All routes lead to Stuttgart, Germany on Saturday, May 14th. Be there. Honorable Joseph Wirba gathers Ambazonians. The time for his long-awaited great vision for the liberation of Ambazonia has come. The vision that inspired him to stand up for Southern Cameroons in Cameroon's parliament to condemn Ambazonia's subjugation. The vision that got the oppressors hunting for his head. Wirba's vision for the freedom of Ambazonia is even stronger and clearer today than before. Let's come together, stand by him and with him. Join him in Stuttgart, Germany for the great come together on freeing Ambazonia. Wirba now has a direct route to Ambazonia's liberation. All routes lead to Stuttgart, Germany on Saturday, May 14th. Be there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying put in there. Before I move on to the next subject, which is Manfe in Manual, I'd just like again to remind all of you that today is the D-Day that we gather to raise funds to support our fighting forces on the ground. The Zoom meeting is now open and going on, and everybody, every Ambazonian, wherever you are, for as much as you have internet, is invited to be in that Zoom meeting. I shall be bringing it live on ABS right after this show, but if you can join the Zoom meeting, please do so. Do so. The Zoom meeting is open, but if you want to make a payment online without going into the Zoom meeting, you have the payment information right here. Ladies and gentlemen, you can pay through Zelle, you can pay through Cash App, and for your information, those who have been struggling to pay through Cash App and did not succeed, I'd like you to know that that error has been rectified and the Cash App is working at this moment. So do not hesitate if you have to make any payment by way of Cash App. The numbers are there on the screen. The Zelle number is there. The Citizen website is there, CID, ambercitizens.com. You can go out, you can go there, log into that website and actually make a payment. Again, you can pay through Cash App or PayPal. You find the emails, donations at amberrestfoundation.org. You go, you log in there, you can also make a payment. So please, PayPal is there, Zelle is there, Cash App is there, and the websites are also there. Some people have been asking, especially those in Europe, how can they make a payment? How can they make a payment? I hope to find out that information after this, and we will display the information on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you now to the last item in this broadcast. Who burnt down Manfe Central Town's park, destroying so many vehicles, I'd like you to take a look at these images coming out of Manfe.
So one guy there with it.
My pack this my 2-pack. My 2-pack burning too much. My 2-pack this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the fire you see, the images you see emerging from Mamfe, precisely the popular Mamfe Park. Some people have said the restoration forces did this to enforce ghost town in Mamfe. However, we cannot verify that information. We cannot confirm that information. And of course, if they were doing this to enforce ghost town, why wouldn't they do this on a Monday? This wasn't a Monday. This did not take place on a Monday. It took place, I think they said on Sunday. But let me get Caroline Mala to come in here and tell us what she knows, what she has found out about this burning in Mamfe. Female General, what do you know?
Yes, Secretary Chris, that burning in Mamfe, there are some people that say it was restoration forces and some other people say it's unknown gunmen. Actually, it's a strategy because for what we gather, the activists and I, we gather that it was not restoration forces, it was La Republique military. Because that burning was not on Monday. Because if restoration forces were actually to stop any ghost town, it's actually on Monday. So they come as Amber Boy, but there was now military because two people recognized one of them that saying that one of their grand for Cartier and military. So we have first class information that there was no Amber restoration forces doing that act. Is La Republique military. So they actually come on daytime, but they was having the trouser, the military trouser, and they were a top like Amber Boys. But one of the victims actually recognized one grand for Cartier. So he said, you know the grand very well, the grand are big. So we can actually 100% tell Ambazonian that this was done by La Republique terrorists. So to just make our people to hate us and to blame us. We are not discussing the fact that if it happened on Monday, when they say it's go time, anybody that go out, we put fire. But we don't come out on Friday, on Sunday, and put fire on our people. Because nothing is declared. Nothing is actually a reason for us to do that to our people, because they are free to go on their daily basis. After Monday, from Tuesday going, they are free to go out and find where they go chop. So this is not the work of Ambazonia Restoration Forces. This is the work of La Republique, Secretary Chris. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought Mark Barita is still here. I can't find him. I think he is gone. But Dr. Atienjo, this is happening again on this, I think it was either a Sunday or a Saturday. And of course, if they were enforcing ghost towns, they will be doing this on a Monday, isn't it?
Yes, actually, yes. It will be on a Monday. But it is very clear we don't need to, I mean, several of these burnings and atrocities have been caused within Ambazonia, and they have all been linked to La Republique trying to come up with a strategy, just like the female general said it here. It's a strategy that the Republic is using to actually incite our people against the Ambazonians. so that they paint them black. It's often said that if you want to kill a dog, you give it a bad name. So what they are doing now is to actually paint the Amazonian fighters, restoration fighters black, that these are people who do not like development. Look at how they are destroying the properties of vulnerable Amazonians, and it means that they are fighting against the people, not even against La Republique, and so forth and so on. So that's the message they're trying to pass, but we understand that our people are very smart people. Ambazonians are very intelligent people. This revolution has passed that level of the level at which people could be manipulated like that. So it is very clear. Why would our boys go and burn houses or burn vehicles owned by some? Maybe the owners are drivers who are driving, doing a short distance transportation around the place in Manfei town to neighboring villages. And now this is what puts food on their table. Why would they burn it on a Sunday? Why would they burn it on a Saturday? These are not days that we have for lockdown. Our normal usual lockdown is on Mondays, and then days that are imposed by the government when they deem it necessary. So doing this on days that have no relationship with the lockdown is kind of very, very suspicious, and it is an indication of the bad faith in which the La Republique is doing things in Amazonia. And in a nutshell, Secretary Chris, the end times have already come. Just like the Bible says it, the end times of this revolution is already coming, because you can see the frustration that La Republique is in at this moment. First of all, Russia is fighting a war in Ukraine, and La Republique goes at this time. They chose this sensitive time that the Western world, very important parties in world politics, are actually putting an eye on Russia, and they chose this time, this period, to go and sign an arms deal with them. You can see that these people are already frustrated. A senior officer of the finance ministry in La Republique actually confessed that they have made trips to many countries, still looking for a way for money, to borrow money, and they are only turning down because the debt on Cameroon is just so huge for them. They are unable to repay their debts, and that is why potential lenders are refusing to lend them money. Okay, so this is what is happening. So the frustration is just so overwhelming on La Republique, and that is why they are committing all these atrocities in order to pit our people against our boys. That is not going to work. They should look for something different.
Yeah, I thought I was actually going to delve into that issue of La Republique du Cameroon being unable to implement her budget because the IMF, according to Dieudonné Isomba, has hijacked the budget, that until you pay your debtors, you cannot go about implementing the budget. I will do that next time. But before we go, I'd like also to speak to Ambazonians about what the interim government is doing today. Doing the grand finale of this ARF fundraiser. Female General, what message would you want to send out there that will motivate Ambazonians watching and listening to log into the Zoom meeting and chip in their 200? I said from the beginning that the idea of this ARF was for at least 1,000 Ambazonians to come and chip in $200. That will give us, is that $200,000, Dr. Atienjo? Yeah, if every...
Yes, it will be $200,000.
That will give us $200,000. Just imagine, Marietta had $200,000 in her hands within the first 2 months of her presidency. Just imagine what she will be able to do. She has already done a lot of things that I cannot say here on Ground Zero. The people who are the fighters on Ground Zero watching and listening to me, they know what is going on Ground Zero with the money that has already been raised. But that cannot be enough. It isn't even near what she wants to see done on Ground Zero, which is why we are calling on every Ambazonian today. Please join the Zoom meeting. You have the Zoom meeting password and log in and Zoom meeting ID. You have the meeting. That information is scrolling on the bottom of your screen. Log in, contribute, support Iya Marianta to put the right equipment into the hands of Ambazonian fighters. We cannot just sit here watching them killed every day, as we saw in Guzang the other day. Then we all sit here, we lament and we shy and we talk firepower. It will take this money for firepower to get on ground zero, ladies and gentlemen. It takes the right equipment in the hands of these boys. So, Female General, go on, please. Tell Ambazonians what they need to do now.
Tell Ambazonians, my people, the strategy is just so amazing. You know, I'm so excited because I know what's going on. I'm so excited because the strategy is just great. Action and accountability. So what our excellency, our president, Madam President Iya Marietta she actually want to put the 13 counties together and put firepower at once. So everywhere in Ambazonia will be run at the same time. Isn't it great, my people? So it needs 1,000 Ambazonians to make it happen. Yes, this is not time to play. We are at war. When I don't see the restoration forces, the momentum don't come back on the ground, our people have hope because they discussed with the new leadership. The president assured them and she gave them their strategy and their vision. So please, we in the diaspora now, what can we do? After we finish, let us all go to the Zoom meeting. $200. We need 1,000 people and let the result speak by itself. Now action 13 county. La République must hear for us. La République must hear from them. Must start come up. They never start for station 10. So right now, as I tell you so, many things that happen when it's sweet news. I know we'll talk now when it happen. When I will not say I don't already just when I small. So please join the link, the Zoom meeting. Contribute your 200 because we in the diaspora, we will do it, and the restoration forces on Grand Zero go do their own. So now our final day today. Now today we will put La République source. Now today we will show La République say big point, no be war, and the new leadership mean business. So fellow Ambazonians, please, we will join the Zoom meeting, the Zoom link. We will not 200. May we go finish with who will our people declare us. Thank you, Sir Chris.
All right, Dr. Atienjo, please.
Fellow Ambazonians, today is a big day for Ambazonians, given that we have a new president in charge. And this new president has come with an agenda which is going to bring us forward. It's going to take us to another level when it comes to the execution of our restoration. Think about the Gabo massacre. Think about the Pinyen massacre. Think about Baby Caro massacre. Think about all the atrocities that were caused all in Ambazonia during the era of the former disgraced president. How did he respond? He made long speeches, unending speeches, hitting the table and doing nothing, while money was sitting in the account to be used for personal businesses, Bitcoin and some other stocks. But today we have a lady who is so agile, a lady who is focused and who has a vision for Ambazonia. Action and accountability, that is the motto of this new leadership. And now she has come up with a very powerful arrangement here. 90% of all the contribution for the ARF will be sent directly to the ground for work to be done. And 10% will be sent for humanitarian reasons. Humanitarian will take care of our refugees, will take care of our IDPs, our prisoners, and all the sick. So you can see that the new president has a vision which must be accomplished. We cannot, and she cannot accomplish this vision without your support. We need this support so that she can start up or jumpstart this revolution once again. We need your support because these people need help. We need your support because our people are dying for no good reason. We need your support because the enemy is already in our house, killing our house and killing our people, burning our houses, and destroying our culture, destroying what we identify with. So, Amazonians, today is the day of reckoning. Today is the day that we are inviting everyone to come to the platform. Let's join the Zoom meeting and make your own contribution. You will know, I had an argument with somebody some weeks ago, and this person said, "You are talking so much about this Amazonian struggle. Why don't you go to the ground?" The simple question was, the simple answer I gave to this gentleman was that I cannot go to the ground and join because I have to stay here and work the money and so that we'll be able to support our boys on the ground. If you are in the diaspora, if you are somewhere sitting in a comfortable place, in an air-conditioned house, you are living there comfortably, please join this struggle and give your own contribution so that we can do this. Remember, those on the ground have already made enough sacrifice. Putting their lives on the line is a huge sacrifice that we cannot pay them for. The only way we can encourage them is to provide what they need in terms of the persecution of this revolution. So please, I'm appealing to all Amazonians, most of us in the diaspora, let us join this Zoom call. Let us jam it and make sure that we make our contributions. No matter how small it is, a contribution which is going to take us to the next level. So we are appealing that please stop bringing all sort of flimsy excuses in order to avoid contributing. And one thing you must not have before you contribute. Some people contribute in this revolution not that they have too much or they don't have a use for money. Is that they have this revolution at their heart. They hold it high up there. And we need to all cherish our revolution and make necessary contributions so that we can move forward. The road to Buea is real, but it all depends on us to make it quicker. Thank you, Amazonians, and I love you.
All right, that is wonderful. Dr. Atienjo, thank you for joining me, and female General Mark Barretta, Aaron Carr, thank you for joining the broadcast. At this moment, we will switch over to the Zoom meeting, and for those of you who are out there who would love to join, please, again, you have the meeting password and meeting ID rolling on the bottom of your screen. So please join the meeting if you can. And remember, do not come there empty-handed. Come in with your $100. Come in with your $200. Come in even with your $1,000. This is the moment we can make a difference, especially when it comes to empowering the fighters on ground zero. Again, Zoom meeting is on now. Please go ahead, join it, and let's stand with our boys. I look forward to being back here possibly on Monday. But again, we are all joining the Zoom meeting. And for those of you who are wondering how you can make, let me get this caller. I think it's ground zero, trying to find out information. Okay, I lost that caller. So again, you have the Zoom information on the screen there, and you also have the payment information on the screen. If you are looking for a means to make a payment, please, you have the payment information right there on your screen. All right. All right. All right. So please, we have PayPal, we have Zelle, we have Cash App, and again, take note, Cash App is working. Some people have been trying to make payments through Cash App, and it has not been working. I can assure you that at this moment, Cash App is working. Let me get this caller. Hello.
Yes, Sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Ground Zero, from Bamenda.
Okay, what is going on?
So the thing is, I wanted to talk particularly from Mabuda.
Your connection is very bad. The audio is very bad. And unfortunately, I'm not taking calls today. If you want to send any information to me, go ahead and just text me, please. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the day. Go ahead, join the Zoom meeting. Go join the Zoom meeting and let us save our boys. However, before I go, I just like you to stay put, watch something quite interesting here. Watch this, please.
Joseph Wirba gathers Ambazonians. The time for his long-awaited great vision for the liberation of Ambazonia has come. The vision that inspired him to stand up for southern Cameroons in Cameroon's parliament to condemn Ambazonia's subjugation. The vision that got the oppressors hunting for his head. Wirba's vision for the freedom of Ambazonia is even stronger and clearer today than before. Let's come together, stand by him and with him. Join him in Stuttgart, Germany for the great come together on freeing Ambazonia. Wirba now has a direct route to Ambazonia's liberation. All routes lead to Stuttgart, Germany on Saturday, May 14th. Be there. Honorable Joseph Wirba gathers Ambazonians. The time for his long-awaited great vision for the liberation of Ambazonia has come. The vision that inspired him to stand up for Southern Cameroons in Cameroon's parliament to condemn Ambazonia's subjugation. The vision that got the oppressors hunting for his head. Wirba's vision for the freedom of Ambazonia is even stronger and clearer today than before. Let's come together, stand by him and with him. Join him in Stuttgart, Germany for the great come together on freeing Ambazonia. Wirba now has a direct route to Ambazonia's liberation. All routes lead to Stuttgart, Germany.
That Secretary Chris had a program running. So our apologies. It's not something that we intended it to be this way. So our apologies again for tonight. Mapo, go ahead.
Okay. You are awesome in this place, mighty God. You are awesome in this place, Abba Father. You are worthy of our praise. To you our lives we raise. You are awesome in this place, mighty God. Mighty warrior, great in battle, Jehovah is your name. Our most precious and everlasting God. These are your children that have gathered today. We thank you for making it possible for us to gather. Where two or more are gathered, there you are there. We invite your presence to be in our midst this night, wherever we find ourselves, this day, this night, this morning, wherever, from all walks of life, Lord. We ask, oh God, that you forgive us of all our sin and iniquity. Release your mercy upon us, and we ask that you send your spirit to dwell with us, dwell among us. Let the Spirit of God lead us through this fun drive. Spirit of God, teach us on how we can pursue this struggle. Lord, we ask that your spirit descend among us. Your spirit descend in Ambazonia. Your spirit descend everywhere. That all the manipulation of La Republique, bringing all kinds of initiation, it will not work. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Lord, let your spirit liberate us from the terrorist people. In the name of
Recording in progress.
Unmute Marpolin, please.
What? Whether they are coming from wherever they are coming from, Russia, oh Lord, we send you ahead of us. When the Lord goes ahead, no one can defeat him. Lord, fight the battles for us, and we stay behind. We are just the vessel. We are now ready that you use us for this war that has been instilled upon us. But we will not be tired because we have you, Lord. Lord, wherever the enemy is coming, enemy within, enemy without, all those that are changing forms, changing position, Lord, let your spirit visit them one by each. Those you need to transform, transform them. Those who have refused to be transformed, deal with them accordingly. In the name of Jesus Christ. And Father, we ask that you touch the hearts of everyone who will be coming to this fun drive, even those that have not come. Those that are in their homes, Ambazonians that have even left the struggle, those that have never joined the struggle, that this struggle is not for some specific people. It's for everybody. America is here, Europe, Britain. There are people are in Britain, they are in America and other parts of the world that they fought. You will not enjoy other people's labor and you don't fight for your own. Lord, cause them, touch their hearts, that they will come and join and we speak like one man. All those that have been having double standard, Lord, touch their hearts. And those that have had that hard mind, like Mr. Pharaoh, deal with them as you dealt with King Pharaoh. What must happen for us to have our freedom? Let it happen. If it requires the head of anyone, whosoever that person is, let that head go down. We must get the freedom. And so shall it be. Thank you, Father. As we start this phone drive, start with us. As we end it, end with us. At the end, your name shall be glorified and we will get good results. You who have started a good work in us, you will complete it. This day and forward, in Jesus' name I've prayed. Amen.
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 Amen. Let us observe a minute of silence to our loved ones, our fallen heroes. Lord, we pray for comfort for those that have lost their loved ones in Amazonia. You are God of strength. We pray for peace. We pray for strength, that you continue to strengthen us, those that are still living, that you will strengthen us and you give us new strategies, that those that have gone before us, they will not die in vain. May their souls rest in the bosom of the Lord in power. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mark Pauline, for your wonderful prayers. We appreciate you. We are now going to move on to our anthem. We cannot conduct this occasion without the anthem. Interestingly, our VP is going to be the one to sing the anthem tonight. So VP, are you here with us? You want to lead by example?
Yes.
Yes. VP Abongo, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Wow.
It's your turn now.
I'm privileged.
Yes.
So, dear distinguished comrades, Madam President, and all protocol highly respected, let's honor our national anthem, one of the emblems of our identity, together with the flag, of course, by assuming the patriotic posture, right hand on the left chest, on our hearts, Amazonia. Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We the Amazonians pledge our loyalty. Praise the Son, the Savior, who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the heroes who bore the land with their blood. Glory to glory will rise and never to fall. Here in our nation, flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making a nation a joy forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation, Amazonia, land of freedom. You shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Yes.
Next week we are singing the anthem.
Wow.
Good job.
Wow.
Good
My
job.
God, I can't. Oh, I can't believe that.
Amen.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you,
Mr. Vice President.
You are wonderful.
That was beautiful.
So beautiful. Thank you. Like, have you been a part of a choir before?
He knows how to articulate it.
My God.
We have one
Thank
person for
you,
the
Vicky.
anthem.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, our able VP. You are wonderful. We appreciate you. We will move on into the next phase of the program is the welcome to the ARF Kickstart home stretch by Mark Tengu. Mark Tengu, are you here, please?
Yes, I am. And thank you, Majed.
Yes.
Thank you, VP. Welcome, comrades. Welcome. We appreciate you taking the time to be here with us for the ARF Kickstart. Although this is the last phase of the ARF Kickstart, we still have a lot ahead of us. And tomorrow we're beginning to get committed, look for committed members, 1,000 committed members that would be contributing $200 every month. And I want to thank you in advance for that. Yeah, we know that we have some hurdles, but those hurdles are what are going to lead us into our freedom. Sometimes we look at things and say they're mistakes. Usually they're mistakes. Sometimes they're the things that will lead us to where we want to be. So I just want to take the time to thank everybody for being here today. We have to keep trying, no matter what. The goes is saying that you never fail until you stop trying. So I'm pleading with all of us. We've gone too far to turn our backs. We've gone too far to give up. We have to continue. We have to keep continuing. Let's not guide us. God is going to support the struggle. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate all of you being here. Let's put our hands into our pockets. Whatever comes out of it, let's give it to the struggle. Let's support our struggle. We shall overcome. We're in it to win it. We will win it. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sister. We appreciate you. Thank you. At this time, we want to make sure that everyone who is supposed to be here is here tonight. So we want to make sure that our LGA chairs are here tonight. If you're from an LGA and your chairperson is not here tonight, can you please call them to come in? Please, if you're a cabinet member and your SOS is not here tonight, your DSOSs are not here tonight, can you please inform them that it's very important for them to be here? Please, you're from an LGA and some of your LGA members are not here and you know they're supposed to be here. Please inform them to be here tonight. Please. We thank you very much for being here tonight, but please, we want everybody that is supposed to be here with us because this is a very important day for fundraising. So at this time, I don't know if our able president is here. We will, is MB Wizzy here? MB Wizzy.
I'm here.
Please, can you usher our president in? She's gonna address her people.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, before I usher in the president, I just also want to remind everyone, or just to reiterate, that the motto of this government is accountability and action, and the mission is independence. That's total restoration. So, right now, I would like to usher in the president, our president. As you can see her, she's looking very beautiful today. So I hope that everyone who is coming here today, you're coming here well loaded, because our president can't be looking this beautiful, this good, and you just come and go away like that. So, Madam President, we want to thank you for everything that you've been doing, everything that you have been doing. That's for the boys and for our refugees, for all your hard work. We want to say that thank you, Madam President. The floor is now yours, Madam President. You can now talk to your people. Thank you.
Thank you, MB Wize. Greetings, fellow Amazonians. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you all wherever you are. Thank you, brothers and sisters, fellow members of different tiers of government here present. I acknowledge and recognize the presence of our Vice President, Dr. Abongwa. I acknowledge the presence and the hard work of the finance team, resource mobilization, recalibration team, members of cabinet, all the spheres of government, LGHS, county chairs, restoration council members, ANSC. I thank you all. I really cannot thank you enough, because you have worked hard and you continue to work hard. And this, brothers and sisters, is a home stretch. You know, when you were younger, when we were younger, and we did races at school, the competitions, the sports competitions, and you start the race, and you have to keep going. The middle part seems really difficult, and then you get to that last bit, the home straight. So this is what this is: the home straight or the home stretch. That last part of the race that you really need to give everything that you've got to make sure that you reach the finishing line. You pass the finishing line and you get that satisfaction of achieving your goal, of making it through. So that's where we are at. We started this Kickstart Challenge back in March, and we have gone through several weeks of meeting up on Sundays, and we gave ourselves till the end of April, and today is the end of April, and so here we are. I want to thank the whole team, every single person, even those working in the background whom you haven't seen yet, for all the hard work that you've been doing, all the sacrifices that you've been making. Ground Zero really appreciates the work that we have been doing. Our conversations with the boys on the ground, even some of the civilians, are very, very appreciative of this new government and the work that's been carried out by the DSS and the different teams, DHA, the Department of Home Affairs. All the work that's already ongoing, it's already been recognized on the ground. So I just want to really appreciate everyone in our government for the hard work that they're doing. So of course, I can't really go very much further because we had a wonderful prayer for Pauline. Pauline, thank you so much. I know you went to church, and so you're feeling very spiritual. That was transmitted in the way that you delivered that prayer for us today. And we have been in for a real treat, having the national anthem being sung by our very own Vice President, Dr. Abongwa. Thank you so much for that special treat, our VP. And of course, my Jess, you, Mark, Tengu, you, the teams always here ready. Yeah, I mean, you guys are just, you never fail to amaze me with your energy and positivity. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, so what have we achieved after a month of working, planning, strategizing? where are we with the ARF Kickstart Challenge? So we're here at this position because we have had people that stick to their words. People have honored their pledges. People have seen the need of our boys on the ground, the cries of the civilians needing protection. And a lot of people have made their payments already. And that's what has enabled us to even achieve what we have achieved so far. So I want to thank every single person, especially the people from the $1,000 club, which was set up from the very start of this Kickstart Challenge. I want to thank all of you. And it's not too late to join the $1,000 club. You can join it today, you can join it tomorrow. It's not the end. So I want to thank everyone that really facilitated the Kickstart and everyone that has honored their pledges, everyone that has said, you know what, I am going to commit to this Kickstart Challenge. This ARF is so important because, as we all know, we got into government, we had no money in the treasury. It was a huge challenge, really daunting, but it's not me. I am surrounded by very strong, committed Amazonians in the diaspora that said, you know what, the road just lives up, because that's what I said we should do. We rolled our sleeves up, we got to work, we've worked really, really hard. And we've raised quite a considerable amount of money. And with that money, I have to tell you, we use this money diligently. Money, our motto is accountability and action. And we mean every single letter of those words. Accountability and action is very important to us. So for that reason, we have a method that is being used, a very successful method so far. So for a long time, we've raised a lot of money. Myself, all of us in here, we've contributed so much, so generously in this revolution, but we've not seen the results. And I myself, the government, every member of the government is a good contributor. So we know how painful it is. We feel the pain that every single Amazonian that has been contributing for this last 5 years has been feeling. You want results. We want results because we've been coming along with you, contributing every single step. All the fundraising initiatives that have been carried out, we've been doing it together with you. So the pain of not seeing where that money has gone to so far, we know it, and we said, no, we don't want to feel that again, and we're ensuring that we don't ever go through that as far as this government is concerned. So for that reason, in terms of the delivery of the projects or anything that we do, it's with ground zero. The impact should be on ground zero. All the funds are being raised, 90% to ground zero, 10% for humanitarian needs. So, and it's not just about sending money anyhow to ground zero. There is a process that's being followed. The county self-defense, the county executive, whether it's the self-defense and the county and the people that are really at the core of running that county or LGA, we get together with the DSS, we sit down, talk together, talk to the boys on the ground. We've made assessments of their needs, and we know exactly what each county needs. That's why straight away after our consultations, we were confident and were bold in saying that each county should get at least 1 million francs because they needed it for granules. They needed it to protect themselves. They needed it to be able to face that enemy that's not leaving them alone. And that commitment remains. Some counties already have received the 1 million francs to back up what we had said. Now, the ARF was set up for a specific purpose, and that purpose was to irrigate La Republique terrorists from our territory, because they've been there for far too long and they need to be washed out. They need to be pushed out. They need to be eliminated by any means necessary. They need to get out of our territory. Either they get out by themselves or we make them get out. And that's what we're going to do. So for that reason, the ARP was set up to make sure that the boys are adequately empowered to flush them out. So with the money that has come through so far, after their discussions and confirmation of where the money should be received on ground zero, the procurement of the materials, we give the go-ahead for the county. We guarantee that the resources are there, and we have a trusted Amazonian ensuring the supply of the materials. So when the material is actually being delivered to the county, it's only at that point that there is any exchange of finances. So the money will only be sent to ground zero, to its destination, after the material is actually there in front of them, because we're not interested in losing any money at any point along the route. We don't have time for long stories. We want accountability and action. Deliver the resources, the money gets paid. So far, it's working. So we are very proud and confident to tell you that 2 counties so far have had their big firewood physically in front of them in their hands. So 2 big firewoods have been successfully delivered to 2 counties. And right now, we are sourcing 2 more for 2 other counties. And by God's grace, and it will happen, with the resources that are being contributed here today and the pledges that are still to be honored, we intend to have every county with the capability of having 1 big rubber gun. If we can make it 2, let's do it. Why can we not do it? Because in as far as we are limited, La Republique will think that they have the upper hand on us, and we cannot give them that chance whatsoever. So brothers and sisters, we are here. We need to dig deep into our pockets. We assure you that every dollar that comes in is being accounted for. Every single dollar that comes in is being accounted for. We will not tolerate wastage or any extravagance expenses whatsoever. Every single material is well sourced. You do recognize that sometimes people are into business, they want to make business, they want to add extra money to get their resources. We're cutting through all of that. The money that's raised needs to be it needs to be used correctly. The money goes straight to source. And I can tell you that that's what's happening. So I'm really pleased and I'm really thankful for the team that we have in place, ensuring this process runs smoothly. Ground Zero is happy. They're very happy. We've had meetings with Ground Zero Command, and they express their joy and their gratitude for the work that's been done by this team, not just me, not just President Ian Marenta, the team right here, the team that's still to come, the team that was on ABS, the team that works tirelessly day and night. So for that reason, I think we need to actually take a moment to recognize that despite the challenges, we have not given up and we never will give up. We will not relent. However, we also know that we have lost some of our children more recently, and that always comes with pain because it feels like we are not doing enough. It feels sometimes like we are not working fast enough. And we need to reach a stage where we stop feeling that way. And we can only reach that stage by making sure, everyone in here, making sure that this kickstart realizes its goal. We need at least $180,000 for all 13 counties. So far, I think with the pledges that have come in, we're probably around 50,000 mark. So, brothers and sisters, the work is down to us to do. That work doesn't mean only us digging into our pockets. The work means calling your friends, calling your families, because we are families, and we have to stand together to fight for the rights of our our people who are being downtrodden, who are being treated like second-class citizens, like their existence is of no significance. It is up to us to give their lives the value that they deserve. We're here to protect the integrity of our people. So it's only down to us. We will not expect other people to do it. It is us. And that means us still reaching out and talking to the people that are thinking that it is that one, I think they want to sit on the fence. Because when La Republique comes to attack our villages, they just kill, they kill, they kill, they kill. They don't care. They don't care whether you are contributing here or not. They will still kill your family. So what's the point of sitting on the fence and thinking that, it is just that your thing? No, it is not just your thing. It is our thing. It is our liberation struggle. We need to fight for it. This ARF is our freedom. It's the ticket to our freedom. What are you prepared to pay for your freedom? What are you prepared to pay? Ukrainians are prepared to go to Ukraine, pick up the sticks themselves, and they are not afraid to say it on national television, radio, wherever they're being interviewed. Ukrainians are prepared to pick up their sticks, go back to their country and fight for their liberation struggle. What are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to go down to Amazonia and fight? Are you prepared to dig into your pocket and put in as much as is needed? Are you prepared to contribute until you bleed, just like our boys contribute with their life, with their blood? What are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to work extra shifts? Are you prepared to braid your hair yourself so that you don't have to spend money at the hairdressers? What are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to cut out some restaurant meals? Are you prepared to sacrifice fast from your needs so that the boys on the ground, the refugees, the prisoners of war, the widows, those children that have no voice, who have no one to speak for them, are you prepared to sacrifice a little bit more for them? Because I tell you, it is only by chance, it's only by God's grace that you, me, all of us in here are in the diaspora where we are. It could have been us in the refugee camps. It could have been us in the prisons. It could have been us in the bushes. It could have been us dead. It could have been us in the mass graves. It could. Actually, it could be any of us. That we're here. So what's your purpose? What was the purpose? Why did God put you where you are, in a country where you see freedom, in a country where you go to work and you're treated with respect? And there are processes and procedures in place to protect your civil rights, your human rights. Do we not want that for our people that are stuck back in Amazonia? What are you prepared to sacrifice? That is the ultimate question. And until you're able to answer that question sincerely, then you will not be giving your best to this revolution, to this liberation struggle. When you're able to answer that question, God will speak to you. And despite the sacrifice, no matter the sacrifice you do, you will always be satisfied because you know that you're doing your best. And only your best is good enough because the boys on the ground are doing their best. It's about time every single person in the diaspora also does their best, because that is the only thing that is good enough. That's the only thing. We do not expect anything less than our best. The boys are giving us their best with the limited resources. Imagine what they will give us when they're empowered adequately. They have given their word. They have given their word. Let's not let them down. Let's not let them down. But please, before we proceed, I want us to take just 1 minute of silence because we have lost a considerable number of our brothers and sisters on the ground. We had a massacre in Guzan. We've had some more deaths all across our country, our territory. So I invite you to join me for another minute of silence while we think and pray that our fallen heroes rest in power.
For this struggle. But what makes Ambazonia land me know from today? Say Red Dragon must find so take over the last blood for people who don't lost them for East Ambazonia land.
Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord,
President
and let the perpetual light shine upon them.
It won't be long time.
May their souls rest in power.
Where they make
Amen.
the kashi.
Amen.
And as also Ambazonia people.
Amen. 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 Let's clap for the president.
Wow, thank you, my president.
The cash.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Awesome.
That was so touching coming from a mother. My goodness.
Awesome.
Mother who feels for her children.
It could be you, it could be me.
Yes,
Awesome.
that was so touching. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jess,
so much. Yes, ma'am.
We have a special guest that's not able to be here. Somebody that is so moved as you and I.
Yes.
Who said, you know what, she will do her best.
Yes.
And we would like to honor her kindness and generosity, and the position that she holds our Ground Zero people at heart.
Yes.
So massive. She said she was going to start this evening with the sum of $500. That's Maeli. So Maeli, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeli.
Maeli, thank you so
much. You are blessed, Maeli. Wow. Before we move on, thank you, Maeli.
I hand the floor back to you, my Jess, Martin Group. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, all spheres of government, ANSC, cabinet, LGHS county chairs, country and regional coordinators, thank you for being here. Let's make Ground Zero proud. Let's do this.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Next on the agenda, I think we're, I don't know if Reverend Asong is here, and SOS Asong and DSOS Babila. If SOS Asong is here tonight, the floor is yours now. Yeah, you have the floor.
Thank you. Greetings, everybody. Unakafi Day of 21 gun salute, Madam President.
Greetings, Rev.
VP,
this
you
woman is a powerhouse. Please, Reverend Asong, let me just say one thing. This woman and I and the Vice President, we literally don't sleep. We work round the clock, making sure that every single part of Amazonia is covered. Nobody gets left behind. Not just the big FMs and generals that we know, but she's making sure that every camp is catered for. So I think, please, join me in giving Reverend Asong a round of applause because she's doing a great job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before I say anything, I have a surprise for this house before I proceed. So, Madam President and Vice, all Ambazonians, let us welcome FMA the King in this house. FMA.
With
FMA, come on.
Red Dragon for the we will continue that struggle. When I hear me, I said, if today Ambazonia government say don't tire,
all the Ambazonians,
Red Dragon
and
tire.
Madam President,
I go rest, and the Red Dragon go rest.
And
when they don't see Sisiko Ayoktabe for upside, And then the red dragon go rest.
Um,
You hear me?
I'm very happy today
Oh, we brought them with the for
for
Kondenge.
the mix for this
Commanders
meeting.
them with the for Kondenge. Because they don't show
For this
place with the
evening
time.
for Amber time.
Oh,
I don't know if one
I'm
of you hear
very
me.
sorry.
Loud and clear.
Yes,
Just
we didn't hear
proceed.
you, FMA. Thank
Very
you.
well.
Langa truth. Money people.
Okay, fine.
People when they don't
And
go conscience.
any
For
other
save
government
your brother
official with the day
because
for
of money.
inside this house, inside
You
this
see,
meeting, I salute
Best
one
and
and
two
all.
like Ayabacho.
And I salute all my media
I guess
and all
Ayabacho
papa
they
them
try
and all
for
Gondere
challenge
and
Red
all young
Dragon.
man with this.
And I know Ayabacho, he comes up.
And then I give also
And I want to Ayabacho special warning
greeting for my
with the
colleagues,
general Ivo.
other FM,
So when
other
they know
majors and other
where
generals,
Red Dragon they pass,
other captains
let them better
with
find
the
place
day
go
for this
hide.
meeting.
Because we'll be capable.
My brother,
They know
Mama
hide.
them,
You see,
and my
this
father,
man sword.
I
Now he
thank
will
you
take them.
plenty for the effort.
No be nama
When
baby.
they do,
No be
make
nama
sure
baby.
they make this
We
struggle.
go take them.
Make
And
it
I
not
love
die.
this baby.
Because we all were waiting for ground zero. Or we dey look 1 or 2 as we look for ground zero.
No.
And all my plea to I get them for all the Amazonians. Will they hear me now as I dey talk? I know say many things them don't go some kind somewhere, but we not say by the God will be great Amazonia. Nothing ever leave Amazonia down. Even if things a bit tough how, and then God will raise people with it take way, reach for inside promised land for Amazonia. Now me if you much are the king of Amazonia and they talk. Now what do we expect